This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 FM and iTalk1067.com. Also brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Beeler Orthodontics, Octopus Car Wash, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Comfort Fit Dentures, Summit Regional Medical Center, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport, and Horn Auto Center. And now, Sholo Ford presents high school football on iTalk 106.7 FM and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Derek. Very good evening, and thank you for joining us here from Mountain Pointe High School as we were being overlooked upon by South Mountain. Got a semifinal ball game pitting number 1 Thatcher against number 4 Sholo. The winner is going to take on East Market Desert Vista just up the road next week. As I'm Derek Palmer alongside Aaron Hewish, we have a little bit of a contrast in styles here, Hewish, and it's going to be punctuated by Brandon Napier, who was hurt early in the ball game, was able to come back, had a big play, got hit in the left shin, and seems if he's all right because he's out there right now as the two teams' captains are meeting. How big of a difference is he potentially going to make if he is 100%?
It's got to be if he's 100%, Derek. We don't know if he's 100%. We don't know how he's feeling, how he's doing, what he's doing, but he's playing, and that could be the boost that the team needs to put him over the top.
Now, how contrasting are these two styles?
I actually think, as we spoke way earlier, as we first got here, that we felt they were very similar styles. It's kind of a punch it out. When we talked about the potential late start for the game, I believe one of the comments was that the late start's going to negate two teams that run it. So we'll see how that plays out. And I think you have two teams that are going to look to run the ball and are going to look to punch the other one while they're down.
Looks as if Thatcher has won the toss and elected to receive.
Interesting choice.
Why you say?
I think it's interesting because I think there's a point in a team where it's like, let's get the ball, let's establish our stuff. But there's also the part that says, hey, we want to defer the ball because we're going to go in at halftime. We're going to make the adjustments that we've seen in the first half, and then we're going to come in and make havoc in the second half.
Looks like they're getting ready to get this underway. If you haven't heard, and I don't know why you would have, but there was an injury at the end of the Eastmark Push Ridge semifinal game that stopped the play at about 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. And one of the young men had a neck injury. They wound up needing more than 20 minutes to try to get him onto a stretcher with the fire department and everything here. They wound up just calling that one without having completed all 48 minutes, and that kind of set things back. But it does not look as if they're going to need all of the allotted extra time that they had given. As Thatcher Eagles are on the field wearing green hats, green tops, white pants. Sholo wearing green hats, white tops, white pants, as it looks as if this is ready to get underway. And as a reminder, we can't send you video feed, so before you launch into the YouTube comments with all of your rage, just bear that, please, as this is a short kick, taken at the 25, trying to run along the far hash. Cut it up. There's a little bit of space as he gets over the 35 to the 40 before finally being brought down. And here come the number 1 Eagles with excellent field position.
Carson Cooper in on the stop for the Sholo Cougars. You know, Derek, one thing is they put the number 1 seed gets the choice of the late game. However, in that 2-3 matchup that they played before, the Eastmark Firebirds punched their ticket to the championship. Well, this team tonight, they kind of get to relax and sit and see who they're going to play. But there's been one team decided, so we have 3 teams left in the 3A conference, and we're going to see who comes out on top to have that matchup with Eastmark.
Napier doesn't seem as if he's at all inhibited by a leg injury as he has split backs behind him while he goes under center. Receivers also on either side of the line. As the handoff is already bursting into the open field. He's at the 20, the 10, 5, touchdown, Cody Jones.
Derek, I didn't even see where the ball went, and all of a sudden I saw Cody Jones break free for a very long run. I think you officially have that at 50, if unofficially have that at 55?
59.
59, okay, as we go in. And, wow. So right now the question going into this next drive is how is Sholo going to respond to this? And Sholo has some weapons of their own.
That's a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass touchdown, by the way. and in very short order. Thatcher seemingly won the toss, elects to receive.
Great
just
choice.
Runs off tackle for 59 yards and a score. Who we got here kicking?
22.
Oh, it's blocked. All right. So how about
Gavin Rogers. Gavin Rogers for the Eagles.
This game is 19 seconds old, and they're already exchanging haymakers. There's 11:41 to play in the first quarter. 6-0. Thatcher leads on a 59-yard strike. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Just hit all three.
11:41 to go. Thatcher already on the board. Sholo looking to respond. Is back to receive this kick. Well, it's angling toward Chicken. Well, it's off his hands anyway, as it's now had by Kishbaugh, and he's going to be surrounded before he can get to the 20. So two incredibly different starts to these possessions, as Thatcher was able to return a short kick all the way out to the 41. One play later, it's on the board. Sholo now going to start deep in its own territory on the 18 as Nash Brewer comes out. He's able to beat you in a couple of different ways, 21 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. His primary weapon is Ryan Kishbaugh, who runs for 94 yards a game and catches for 47. He's going to start on his quarterback's correction. That's Pedraza, I believe. And they're going to drop Brewer back. He's pressured, loses the football, but it bounces fortuitously right into one of the Cougars' waiting arms. Offensive lineman's able to take that for a 1-yard gain. But this is going in a very sideways direction here for Sholo to start.
Yeah, Derek, I was just going to say, I think it's been 6 years since Sholo's played on a stage like this, with the last few being controlled by the Snowflake Lobos in the 3A East region, and now coming in, it just seems like it's a big stage.
Handoff Kishbaugh trying to stretch this one out before he cuts it up, gets over the 20, falls down at the 21 for a gain of 2, make it 3rd down and 7.
It's interesting to note, too, Derek, because we had these Sholo Cougars last week as they played Paradise Honors, and it was very heavy Brewer and Kishbaugh in the early going to get that score where it was.
Keeping everything bunched up at the line. Kishbaugh is going to come out and slot off the left. Pedraza is a single back deep as Brewer goes under center. Fake the handoff. Pedraza pressured. Now Brewer trying to run up. Throws this one upfield where it's caught over the 30 and hauled in. First down on the line. Completed to Colton Tidwell.
Tidwell with a nice catch there. Landed right on his back. Pop up didn't bother him. But Derek, it moved the chains, and that is very important.
Push it to the 31, 10:24 to go in the first quarter. Thatcher already leading 6-0. Took the kick, needed one play to go 59 yards. Sholo trying to respond as the handoff goes Pedraza. Dives up the middle and pushes the pile out to the 33. Just gains.
Kishbaugh is going to get the finesse carries. Pedraza is going to get the, I don't know, you want to call them the hard-nosed carries, the horse carries. And we're going to see what Brewer does. But Brewer got to be effective. He's got to be effective throwing that 10 to 15-yard ball down the field.
He's got to deal with the pressure, as we saw him on that 3rd down play. Is right now working with an empty backfield. Pedraza's on the left, Kishbaugh's on the right. Now Pedraza going in motion to the right side. Brewer rolling in that direction, tries to set up a screen. Thatcher so big up front, and right now just blowing up everything Sholo's trying to pull.
One of the things that we noted early on as we knew we were going to see this matchup when we started looking at it last week is we had been told that Thatcher was very big up front, and we thought Sholo at that time had the horses up front to deal with it. But right now it looks like Thatcher's obviously winning the battle in the trenches, and that's such a key in our Ace Hardware keys to the game that we haven't talked about. That's one of them right there is the trenches.
Already successful on 1 3rd and long. Brewer again moving the pocket to the right side, looking upfield where his man's open but overthrown.
Well, Derek, that was great coverage there by the Thatcher Eagles. Brewer had good protection from his offensive line. However, it brings up a 4th, and it's going to force Sholo into some special teams play.
Brewer does just about everything for the Cougars, and punting's on that list. He's also a threat to potentially try to run with it is Cody Bingham, is right now deep. In front of him is Coy Ferris. Brewer surveys and opts to kick it away, angling this one to the far sideline. Takes a Sholo hop over the 35. Thatcher will have good field position once again, starting right on its own 35. The offense really hasn't had any opportunity for the Eagles to try to get anything going as they galloped 59 yards for the first score. Now leading 6-0 going into this possession with 9:25 to play here in the first.
If you're Thatcher, you got to go, hey, we haven't had much on offense, but we do have 59 yards and 6 to show for it.
So here comes the Sholo front, which surprisingly played really big against Paradise on a lot of time in the backfield. But that's a little bit of a different attack. As here come the Eagles again with split backs with Napier going under center. Handoff trying to go to the left, and there's some of that big play as Aiden Bingham is not able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
We have some laundry on the field here, Derek.
So I would wager that the Cougars want to enforce that.
Keep it first down. It looks like they are, and that's behind the line of scrimmage, so that's effectively a loss of 11.
I'll push it all the way back to the 23. This ought to make it 1st and 22.
I think we had a 3rd and 40 last night.
Sounds like you had a lot last night. As Napier set to go under center. Split backs again behind him as the handoff is again going straight up the middle, and all those yards lost are going to be gathered back in after that run. That time, Damian Oriero.
They're just chunking yards on this Sholo line, and I know it's only been 3 plays, but wow, they are pushing around these big Sholo defenders.
Still behind schedule, though. It's 2nd and 11. Thatcher huddling up and will now come out in the I formation. Single man back is Ferris. Handoff instead goes to the up man, but there's some, again, big play from the Sholo front. Right now it's been feast or famine for the Cougar front 7. They either are able to get the ball carrier down with a quickness or they're getting gashed.
Now, Derek, I couldn't tell on that play if it was the linebackers coming up and making the tackle and the lineman with the initial stop, or if the lineman hung on and got from the stop by the backers. Looks like we have an equipment timeout.
Looking like this is going to be a crowded backfield as Bingham, Cody Jones, and I believe that's Coy Ferris, as they turn and give as they run it over the left side, very close to a first down. That's Bingham, Aiden Bingham, who gains 8, but is shy of the first down.
That's Jeremy Kishbaugh in the stop, and I think Brewer was not. It might have been Kishbaugh and Pedraza to help the other Kishbaugh, Jeremy Kishbaugh, out on that play. But it's going to be 4th and short. Thatcher looks like they have no sign of kicking this away. They're going to go for it.
4th down, a little more than a yard. This would give the Cougars excellent field position if they can come with the first down or 4th down stop. As Napier gives it again to one of the up men, and he's with the greatest of ease, able to run this over the 45 to the 47 and pick up a Comfort Fit Dentures first down.
We're going to get the chain set, and we're going to start the clock here, and this quarter is very fastly ticking away, Derek.
I believe that might have been Cody Jones who outran the Cougar defense on that touchdown.
I'm counting. We're only about 10 plays old in this game, aren't we? And we're already almost 7 minutes left so 5 minutes. I mean, that's a pretty good offensive game.
Now Napier pitching this one late, able to get this one out to Bingham as he tries to find some room on the right side, but winds up only gaining 2. Well pursued there by the Cougars.
Derek, we're going to have to sit and see what's going to happen. Is sometimes that first drive, like that first play they popped off, is how Sholo going to adjust, and is it going to be a positive thing or a negative thing? But interesting to see how they're going to respond here. Or is Thatcher just going to take the reins and put it down their throat again?
First time that we've seen Napier attempt to run with the football, and he didn't look again like he was at all inhibited as they again go with the wishbone set, run this one to the left side, and ball might have come out. Sholo is saying that it's got it, and in fact, the officials agree. As they're on the carry, I believe it was Aiden Bingham, and No, this was Cody Jones who lost the football.
Yeah, the linesman from that other side, the official, he came in very decisive, knowing that ball had come out, and we have a first down for the Cougars going the other way.
So they didn't get the stop on fourth down, but they forced a turnover. We'll take over with excellent field position with 6 minutes and 29 seconds to play here in the initial. They trail 6-0. We're able to move the chains once on their first possession. And we'll start this one with Kishbaugh and Pedraza, at least initially, on either side of Brewer. Receivers also on either side as the handoff goes to Kishbaugh, running this one to the right, trying to get all the way to the edge. Returns it to the 50 and falls forward to the 47 in Thatcher territory after a gain of 7.
Derek noted this was the formation that we saw the most success with last week against Paradise Honors when the game was tight. It's noted that it's Kishbaugh, Pedraza, Brewer, and they had a few of the passes. I'm trying to remember a couple of the receivers that they threw to, but it was running off tackle behind those big tackles for the Cougars.
Kishbaugh is going to be closest to the line of scrimmage, trips to the left. Pedraza also on Brewer's left. As Nash Brewer drops back, pressured, unloads late, gets this one caught to Kishbaugh over the 40, and he's got a comfort fit denture first down to the Thatcher 35 after the gain of 12.
Was that Kishbaugh or Pedraza? It was Kishbaugh. I'm sorry, Derek. Should be noted, too, Derek, that joining us in the booth, myself as being a high school official, but we have two of our current high school football officials sitting next to us, going to help us interpret some rules if we need it.
5:45 to go in the first quarter, 6-0 Thatcher leading, but Sholo, after forcing a turnover, now marching as they turn and give to, that is Pedraza, but he's held up at the line of scrimmage, so able to fall forward, gains 3.
Derek, I think you need to look and see is where they have Pedraza going up the middle there. It may not be the most yards gained, but they have to have Thatcher hold to that so they can run their other play action stuff with Brewer and Kishbaugh.
Second down, they're calling it 8. As this time it is Kishbaugh. Nope, that's Pedraza in the backfield, but Brewer is going to call his own number. Splits a couple of defenders and stays up at the 30, gets decked as he approaches the 25. Has enough for a comfort fit denture's first down, but
Brewer is down. And Derek, it was a legal hit. I think everything was face up.
Well, as that happened with Thatcher last week, Brewer, you couldn't tell if this is a head, neck, back, all of the above. He
is moving
hard.
His legs, so that is a good sign, but it is not good for the Cougars when their star quarterback goes down. And to me, Derek, it looked like we went face to face.
This is a Summit Regional Medical Center injury report as both sides have medical attendees taking a look at Nash Brewer, who got hit hard and is right now down on the 25 with 5 minutes and 9 seconds to play in the first quarter. Sholo trails 6-0. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN. When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Back at Mountain Pointe High School as Nash Brewer is up and able to trot off the field as we have a couple of officials in the booth. Randall, you're a white hat. That we've all agreed that looked like a clean hit, but what was your take on it?
It looked like a clean hit, but when you come into playing in high school football, anything can happen. An injury could possibly happen, but it just looked like both of them were up. They might have went face-to-face with each other, but other than that, he got up on his own accord and was able to run off the field.
Pedraza is Sholo's backup
He is the backup quarterback.
So he's going to come in as Brewer. Hopefully, for the Cougars' sake and his own, is going to be able to rejoin his team here shortly. But Pedraza now working. Oh, okay. Come on, hold the phone.
I believe we're going to get a false start. Or no, they're calling encroachment. Hands to the hips, the encroachment call. I didn't see, Greg, Randall, did you guys see anybody jump on that?
I didn't, no.
That's why we have the linesman with a way better view than we do way up here, because he's way down there and we're way up here.
Pedraza's still on the field operating as the quarterback. And the Thatcher team, it's noted for its size.
Absolutely.
Also very quick, but it might just hope that Brewer just kind of had the wind knocked out of him. He got punched hard.
I hope so.
1st and 5 now as Pedraza goes under center. He's got a new running back behind him in Jet Walker. And instead hands off to Kishbaugh as he's able to run this over the 10-yard line, pick up a comfort fit Denture first down on a gain of 10.
We do hope we get to see Nash Brewer, but again, you have Pedraza who has run the backup role, and you do have Kishbaugh, and they do have some tight end threats. It looks to me like we just overloaded that left side of the line. Ball's placed in the middle of the field. It looks like Sholo has moved number 76.
High formation behind Pedraza. Turns and gives to Kishbaugh, who fumbles it, but he's able to get it back outside the 10. Losses of 1.
You know, Derek, they moved that tackle. I believe it was number 76 Long over to the left side there with, what's Stetson's name? Walters. I can't remember. I know his first name. Walters and Long teamed up there. So basically the whole Thatcher defense knew, hey, they are running right here to our right, their left. And it looks like they're going to stick with that formation down. No, they moved it. They're back to a normal set.
2nd and goal from the 11. Pedraza at quarterback. Pitch this one going out wide, trying to string this one out with the Thatcher defense, looking for the edge, and finally diving forward was Carson Cooper. Picks up 7, gets it down to the 4. It's 3rd and goal.
I don't see what they're doing with Nash on the sideline, but I don't see him down. However, Derek, as much of a loss as he is on offense, defensively, how big is that going to be?
He's up now off the bench and looks like he might be ready to come back in.
I hope so. I hope the young man gets back in. We need him in this game to give these Cougars a jolt.
Pedraza now under center on 3rd and goal. I formation, give to Kishbaugh. Cuts it up quick. He's at the goal line, spinning toward it. Oh, and he's held up short. He's down to the 1.
And we're going to have a 4th and goal on about the 1. You got to go for it if you're Sholo here. I don't even think it's a question by Coach Hernandez and his staff that they're going to go for this ball right here. But it looks like number 71 for the Eagles is going to come in and play some nose guard. That's number 71, Scott Ambler. And he's going to hold down some beef.
This drive started after the Cougars were able to force a fumble and recover as Pedraza, usually a running back, keeps it. And what's the signal?
We haven't got a signal yet. The
Cougars are celebrating as if
it is, and we have gotten nothing from the officials yet. They're conferring.
It's a Mountain Mobile Autoglass touchdown after many moments of deliberation.
Randall, I know what my thoughts are, but you see those officials come in and converse. What are they talking about? What is going through their head right there on that call?
Well, it all depends on the situation and on whose side of the ball or the side of the field where they are at, who had the best angle to make that decision of whether or not it was a touchdown. If the ball just has to break the plane. That's all it has to do. The body does not have to cross.
Exactly.
Calvin Morgan in for an extra point try. It was a high snap. He brings it down. The kick is up and good. The Cougars are able to score after the game's first turnover. Take this 43 yards and score to make it 7-6 with 2 minutes and 22 seconds to play. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
That was a 53-yard drive for the Sholo Cougars and are able to successfully complete the extra point to make it now a 7-6 Sholo lead late in the first quarter. This one, another short kick, and again, great return here for the Eagles, is running over the 50 and hanging on to it after a huge swing at the football. I believe that was Oriero, but excellent field position once again for the Eagles as they're really dominating the special teams play.
Yeah, ball brought down to the 47. It's already in Cougar territory, or you could say the 53-yard line or whatever your fancy is going into these games.
I like 47. They're going to start in Sholo territory with 2 minutes and 13 seconds to go here in the first. Eagles were marching on the last possession, but it ended with a fumble.
Turnovers. Can't have them.
Split backs go again behind Napier as he runs to the left, hands off, and exploding through the left side and falling forward for a 10-yard gain is Oriero.
I have not. Yes, he got a 10-yard gain, Oriero, but is Brewer back on defense yet? I have not spotted him, and he's usually on for these drives has been on our side, and I believe that is.
Isn't that right there?
I think he's in. Yes, we're getting the up. So he's back. He didn't run that last drive with Pedraza, but he's back now.
1 minute and 56 seconds to play in the first quarter. 7-6 Thatcher trails as this time they run to the right side, and again a huge hole is falling again. Oriero over to the 31 as he has a huge first down gain of 6. Thatcher content to huddle and work clock.
I think, Derek, 12 to 13 to 12 ball game is still a W. So I think Thatcher has the right approach to this drive right here.
Napier now using the shotgun for the first time. Man in motion is Cody Bingham. As he gets, no, they fake the handoff to him, and Napier, who again was a question mark with a leg injury, that time pulls it, runs it 5 yards, and picks up a comfort fit denture first down.
Yeah, is that the first time we've seen him out of gun or the second time? I
First.
believe he's been under center, and they've been running that tight wishbone and having a lot of success with it. So Sholo has to respond with something. They had the turnover and the drive and were able to punch it in, but Derek, if they can't make a stop at some point, it's going to be a long night.
Christian Carter's laid off the sideline for the Eagles. He's split wide right. Single man in the backfield. Nope, they got split backs behind him. Going to the left is Bingham, but instead they try Oriero, who's able to come out of a mass of humanity and run over the 25 all the way down to the 22 to gain 5.
Derek, I think these guys got to be averaging 5 yards a carry on these plays just from what I've seen and what's going on. They've had a couple on that last drive where they sputtered and then they had the fumble, but this drive's been yards, positive as they move down the field.
30 seconds remaining in the first quarter, 7-6. Thatcher trailing but approaching the red zone as the Eagles will use the I formation. Dotting the I is Bingham, but instead give it to Oriero. Nope, they're going to keep this one with the late pitch. And they're running into the end zone. No, stop shy. I hesitated because I thought I saw a flag come out, but what a great run off the option there for Brandon Napier.
This is a tough spot for Sholo. They're going to be, it's first and goal now on the 2 for the Thatcher Eagles.
20-yard run for Aiden Bingham after a very late pitch there from Napier to set this up first and goal on the 1, and that's how the second quarter is going to begin. The Eagles trail 7-6, but Thatcher is threatening. Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
I chose welding because there's always going to be a job, and you can go so many different directions within it. The professors helped me so much with getting my skill level up to where it needs to be and helping me progress in the ways that I want to. It teaches you really to be job ready, having a good attitude, and still working hard. NBC has transformed my life by giving me a skill and a trade that I can take with me wherever I go.
Ace Hardware is certainly the place to get everything from hardware to tools, lumber to drywall, propane to wood pellets, and so much more. But did you know that Ace also has one of the White Mountain's best collections of artificial and silk flowers? Ace Hardware is the best place to find completed arrangements or get all your favorite individual items and make your own. If you're crafty, you'll love everything Ace Hardware has to redecorate your home or create unique one-of-a-kind gifts in their complete craft section. Oh, and find an unlimited variety of herbal teas from the brand for tea's sake. Ace Hardware in Sholo, Pine Top, and Heber Overgard.
7-6 Sholo leads, but Thatcher with first and goal just outside the 1. Drive started after an excellent return on the kickoff as the handoff goes to Bingham, who spins away from a tackler momentarily and looks like he is stopped shy of the goal line.
I think if there was a gain there, Derek, it was in inches, not in yards for sure, because that looks like it was almost at the same spot, and the down box didn't even move.
So make it 2nd and goal. Straight away as Oriero, Bingham, and up to the right side is Cody Jones as Napier goes under center. Hands this one Oriero, and this time there's no question. He's in the end zone for the score. A Mountain Mobile Auto Glass touchdown, and a 12-7 lead for Thatcher with a probable 2-point conversion attempt coming.
I don't see a T coming out, but you are right, Derek. We have lots of confetti falling on us right now.
This is what I thought was a flag on the previous long run. That the premature confetti explosion.
It's the semifinals.
I got to bring it.
You got your A game, they got their A game. The confetti cannons.
Thatcher is going for 2 as Oriero up close to the line of scrimmage. Deep back is Cody Jones as he gets the call, tries running to the left, and he falls again with relative ease into the end zone to make it a 14-7 lead with 11 minutes and 24 seconds to play in the half. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football, and I talk about it.
I chose MPC because it offers good quality education. Ultimately, I want to be a nurse anesthetist. This is the start to that path. And instructors want you to succeed, which is really helpful. I've learned a lot so far in just one semester. It's kind of crazy how much I've learned. Northland Pioneer College is transforming my life by helping me achieve my goals in my career.
Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, do so at Northland Pioneer College. You will pay the lowest tuition in the state as Thatcher has reclaimed a lead, 14-7. The Eagles are up with 11 minutes and 24 seconds remaining. Nash Brewer, who had to be pulled, is not going to receive this kick. No, he is, as he takes this one as one of the up men, takes this one over the 30, so it will be reasonably good field position for Sholo, which is a little bit of a story. After the previous kickoff, the Cougars were stopped before they got to the 20, had excellent field position after the forced fumble. That resulted in Sholo's lone score, but we were just talking after the break with the ease that Thatcher is running the ball right at the front 7. The Sholo offense is probably going to have to play some D.
Derek, the score is 14-7, but we did talk about that at the timeout. We'll get back to that after this play.
Split backs going behind Brewer, who's back operating as the quarterback. Turn and fake the handoff. Kishbaugh rolling to the left, looking upfield. Now winds up, throws it into traffic, where it looks to be hauled in by Colton Tidwell, and it's very close to the yard marker, and they're signaling it's a first down.
You know, Derek, one of the things we were talking about as we went to timeout is even though it's a 14-7 ball game, effectively right now, for those of you listening, Thatcher is running right over the top of Sholo, and Sholo does not have an answer for them defensively at all right now.
14-7, the Cougars trail, but move it out to their own 40. Sholo with 3 receivers, 2 of them coming to the near side as Brewer wants to start a quarterback draw, but there again is the size from Thatcher just blowing it up.
They had the offensive line push 2 yards in the backfield on that play, and they couldn't recover, and Brewer had nowhere to go. Derek, I'm not questioning play calls here. I'm just stating is they have been most successful off tackle, and they seemed to go to the medium pass and the run up the middle rather than off tackle. So we'll see what the Sholo Cougars are dialing up here.
Colton Cloyd comes out wide right on the open side. I believe that's Gage Reedhead to the left as they hand it off initially, trying to get it to Pedraza. It's Kishbaugh who's now trying to throw this one out, but instead it's going to be very short and underthrown as Kishbaugh was hit as he was thrown. The intended man was Cloyd, but
Kishbaugh didn't even really have a chance to put that off. I saw that developing, and I thought, no, Kishbaugh is just going to be able, but Thatcher smelt that out. More importantly, their defensive end and their outside backer stayed home and were able to come up and make that play. The receiver was wide open, it should be noted.
But that front is just continuing to disrupt as they got 2 receivers on either side. Brewer from the gun drops back, looking left. Flag comes out as he's going to be wrapped up at the 20 And the size from the Eagles continuing to dictate the way this game's being played.
I see 2 flags there, and they're generally in an area that goes against the offense, but we're going to see what the crew comes up with here.
This would be a loss of 15.
So the penalty is declined. That's going to back it up, and I think that's a good choice by the Thatcher Eagles, forcing Sholo to a 4th and very long.
Brewer ordinarily runs for 77 yards a game. Right now, because of the sacks, he is stuck at -11.
Where's Kishbot for the night, Derek?
Kishbot has rushed for 22 yards on 5 carries.
What's he average?
94.
Okay.
2 men back for Thatcher, both of them awaiting this kick in Sholo territory. As Brewer sends this one again off the side. It's a good kick. Send it all the way back to the 40, where it's going to be grabbed by Cody Bingham, but now he's got some space to run as he gets into Sholo territory at the 45, sheds a tackler to get back to the 45, and then falls forward to the 43. Excellent field position once again for the Eagles, who have yet to put the ball in play through the air. Have one player, that is Oriero, who's rushed for 34 yards on 4 carries. Another in Bingham, who's rushed for 32 yards on 5 carries. And then Cody Jones, who started the ball game with a 59-yard score. He's rushed for 69 yards on 3 carries. Napier, who we had suspected was playing with one good leg thus far, is just allowing those 3 workhorses to do almost all of it as he comes out ready to go under center again. Wishbone going to set up behind him. Oriero is up close. Takes the snap, runs this one to the right, but that time the Sholo defense was ready.
I think the Sholo defense might have made some adjustments, but again, Derek, back and forth. It's not really I think you used the word haymakers. We're not really doing that right now, but it sure does seem like Thatcher's running over. So that could be a huge boost right there for this Sholo defense to make that stop for no gain.
Coy Ferris with his first carry as it's 2nd down and 10 with 9 minutes and 12 seconds to play. Same formation in the backfield. Off to the right is Cody Jones. He's the big dude, but Oriero, the lead blockers, they again try with Ferris, but this time he's met in the backfield for a loss of 2.
I'm kind of at a loss for words. I don't know if Sholo made an adjustment or if Thatcher just ran the same play twice and got the same result. Actually, this result was a little bit worse because it backed him up. That's going to put him double sticks behind, 3rd and 11. Can I say big play for the Cougars, or is that too cliche, Derek?
Well, we'll have to see. This is kind of no man's land, so it might be 4-down territory as Oriero is removed. In his stead comes Christian Carter, but he's going to wind up wide out to the left. Jones at most behind the offensive line is now pressuring Napier as he tries to escape, but there's just too many Cougars. All the way back to the 47 and a loss of 4.
Thatcher looks like they possibly could bring out punt personnel. You know, Derek, that was also one of the few times we've seen Napier and gun, and they looked to pass. I believe that was their first pass attempt of the game, and it didn't even become an attempt. It became a sack, so therefore, you know, Napier gets credited with losing yards, but that's the first attempt passing, and if that's an idea of what they do passing, it could be keeping them on the ground all night.
It looked as if he was trying to escape, but I want to say his left leg kind of slid out from under him.
It did look like that. I did notice that as we go.
Brewer, Kishbaugh is back to receive as it's blocked.
Oh, my gosh.
And hung up as it's saying a big bounce and returnable all the way out to the 30. It's a big dude down to the 20 before he's brought down at the 17-yard line.
That is number 74, Marcus Henderson. I'm not sure. We don't have the advantage of a replay. I'm not sure. But that is exactly, I mean, you could not have scripted that any better if you're the Sholo Cougars. And their side, their fan base has erupted. I think tonight would be a great night to commit a crime in Sholo, Derek.
7:24 to go here in the half. The Cougars have picked up a fumble and used that to get their first touchdown. Right now in the red zone after that blocked punt. It suggested earlier that Thatcher was really winning the special teams game, but there's a huge, huge play with Marcus Henderson returning this one all the way out to the 18.
Special teams has been the difference in the game right now with field position, and this could be something as we move along.
Reed head and single coverage out wide right. But instead, looking at Pedraza as he has a momentary hold. It closes quickly out to the 15. Now he's just going to take it to the 16 for a gain of 2.
Again, Derek, Kishba is going to get the finesse carries. Brewer's going to get the finesse passes. And Pedraza is going to be charged being the horse here tonight to fall and run behind that big offensive line. And the Cougars did show a little bit of push there. I know Pedraza only gained 2.5, 3 yards, but they did effectively push the Eagles back, forcing the backer to come up and make a stop.
Jet Walker right now dotting the I. As there's 3 receivers coming out to the right side. That again includes Reedhead, who's got single coverage if they want to try it. Instead, the pitch goes to Walker, who tries to cut that back up and gets inside the 15, down to the 13 maybe, gains 3 to make it a mid-range third down play.
How great is that, Derek, to show faith in Walker and to have him carry the ball? Walker is a freshman on the field. I told you last week when we had the broadcast, I had a chance to work with him on some youth games, football games this year, and that is a great young man. So I will cheer for him every time he's in the game on a personal note. Great job for him to make that cut and gain some very hard yards for the Cougars.
3rd down and 4. Kishba going to be in the slot off at the left. Single man back is Pedraza as they fake the handoff to him. Now Brewer again pressured, throws this one into traffic. It's at the goal line. It's caught. There is a penalty flag down, but right now it looks as if Reedhead, is it Reedhead? No, it's not. It's Colton Cloyd who might have put.
That's an illegal man downfield. Now, I know we're going to have to back that up, but we have a break here. Randall, I know what I look for in a illegal man downfield. What is the actual call? What are we looking for when we see an illegal man downfield and that flag gets thrown?
Well, what we're looking for is we're looking for a lineman that's in a certain numbering on their jersey. They're only allotted 3 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, and go beyond that on a pass, that makes him ineligible to be there. So,
and we've had a couple games with these guys, and we've actually, one of the things that we've talked about before we've had these show Cougars is that illegal man downfield is something that they kind of use a lot, and unfortunately it's illegal, and that cost them huge there.
Cost them very big on that play.
Colton Cloyd's touchdown pulled off the board. Now an empty backfield for Brewer on 3rd down and 9. As Kishba comes in motion, they fake the handoff to him. Brewer keeps, runs to the right side, and a flag comes out. It would be a 5 or 6 yard gain.
I think Thatcher might decline this one, Derek, and make it 4th and, well, never mind. They won't want to give Sholo any, so I think we're going to be backing that up. No, they aren't. Okay, he just said, yep, we're backing it up.
So they got the flag at the 16.
Yeah, and Derek, they called that on number 56 for the Cougars, and that Stetson Walters, and he immediately went like, oh my gosh, I just got called for it.
3rd and 18 as Brewer drops back, now pressured, and there's another holding flag that comes out as he's going to wind this up and throw it into the end zone. And hold your breath. I thought maybe Reedhead might have been interfered with, but there's two flags.
I don't see any flags deep. I think they're both for the same thing.
Drive started on the Thatcher 18 after Marcus Henderson had picked up a blocked punt and took it into the red zone. It looked as if the Cougars were able to potentially have scored, but an illegal man downfield negated that. And now facing 4th and 18, having lost 10 yards, 8 yards.
And Derek, one thing we see at the 3A level is very few teams have a kicking game and we'll talk about it after this play.
And now they've just lost another 5.
We had both receivers to the far side.
Count on the left.
You know, Derek, there are some teams, bigger schools, that this is an automatic chance at a field goal. But in this level, it's hit or miss whether you're going to have that kicker this year, and unfortunately the Cougars don't have that. So we've got a 4th and a lot situation. This is what you call double sticks.
4th and 23 as Sholo taking time out, but 5:44 to go, 14-7. They trail. I don't know what they're talking about. As we'll just go ahead and keep it here because let's take a quick recap as the Cougars were able to block a punt, use Marcus Henderson, who's a big dude, and he went a rumbling. He was able to shed a couple of tacklers just because of sheer size, but had the Cougars set up first and 10 from the 18, and it looked like everything was cruising.
They have Henderson listed at 5'11" and 207. I think the 7 and the 0 are mixed up on that. No offense to the young man. I just think he's a big body that's doing a great job for these Cougars. And to watch him run, yeah, I think he hit that 207 bill, but he's moving him around like he's 270, and he's doing a great job tonight.
Looking at this from the Eagles' perspective, if they're able to hold here on 4th down and take over at the 30, it's almost the sort of situation where the Cougars might just be thinking, man, if we could just get 10 yards out of this so they don't have such good field position.
Well, I was thinking that too, is go for the field goal and make sure it gets in the end zone. That way it takes it back to the 20 in high school, because it's not a spot thing. But you also, as a coach, don't want to say, oh, we're just going to concede and basically punt it right here.
Now, Brewer can punt as he's working with an empty backfield. 5 receivers set. As he drops back, he's looking to the left. He's going to throw this one toward the goal line into traffic. Yeah, the two Eagles collide. And that's, again, a fortunate thing there for Thatcher, because they would have cost him 10 yards. So the Eagles will continue after narrowly avoiding a scoring opportunity there after first the block punt and then the illegal man downfield negating a touchdown.
Well, Derek, the best thing about that was your call right there. 2 Eagles collide, because I have a visual of 2 Eagles colliding in the air. But, you know, Panthers, Eagles, we're all just mascots. But great visual there for the fans at home.
That's right.
2 Eagles collide.
Starting now outside the 30. 14-7 Thatcher leads, and have thus far had a running game that the Cougars have only once been able to stop it. And it looks as if they're getting up on that foot again, and a flag comes out late.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that flag's going to be, but it did come out a little bit late. Maybe there's some extracurricular going down on the bottom of the pile. We're gonna hear that right here.
Oriero carries for a loss of 1, and there's no flag.
Flag is waved off, and I don't think that the Sholo crowd is very happy about that, although...
Well, the umpire threw it directly into the back of one of the Cougars, so maybe the Sholo crowd should feel fortunate.
Not sure, but guess what? The flag's waved off, and we've got 2nd and 11.
Clock running at 5:20 to go. The Eagles now with 2 potential ball carriers very close to the line of scrimmage as they fake the handoff. Napier rolling to the right. He's going to throw it for the first time, and it was a duck. And he got knocked down flat on his back to boot.
Derek, okay, so that's 2 pass attempts, and neither one of them looked what I would say clean. And so I think they've been a little frustrated with their running game. I think if I'm a Thatcher Eagles coach, which I'm not, go back, establish your run, establish what was working well. Sholo does seem, but it seems like they're trying to go a little more up the middle rather than maybe off that guard and tackle. But we'll see. But Sholo's made a great adjustment to this Thatcher offense.
Only player for the Cougars that is within the 5-yard, or outside the 5-yard mark is Kishbaugh. So that means that he's the only man who can try to make this tackle, and sliding right before him and getting the first down is Aiden Bingham.
When you run the option right, it works good and looks great. When the defense doesn't do their job and get their men, it makes the defense look stupid, the offense look good. I'm not saying anybody's stupid from Sholo, by the way. I'm just saying they kind of did look on that play like there was some missed assignments.
They got to do something, though, because they have to crowd the box, or else the Eagles have been getting 5 or 7 yards every time they run the ball.
How great of a play call was that for the Eagles to adjust to that and grab the first down here?
Comfort Fit Denture first down with fewer than 5 minutes to play. The Eagles lead 14-7, are now on their own 47. They're going to start the option going in the other direction. Napier opts to keep and runs it to, well, he's at the 49, gains 2.
You know, Derek, as I've been around high school football a long time, and it's been a little bit a part of my life, and I've never understood one thing about offensive coordinators and play callers. It works and it does work, and that is, hey, we're going to run it to the left. Oh, that worked great. Now we're going to run it to the right. And I think that a lot of times that's not the best philosophy, but what do I know?
3 men in the backfield. That includes Oriero, who's up front. Left to right, Bingham and Cody Jones. As the handoff goes, Oriero, he's already into the second level, which is, again, just 2 or 3 yards away from the defensive line. Runs it into Sholo territory and gains 3 to make it 3rd and 5.
Third and 5. If I'm Thatcher, I stick with what's been working. That option, that off tackle, seemed to be working pretty good. The Shola Cougars have effectively caroused any stuff up the middle of the last 2 drives.
Same formation as the Napier going under center and runs this one with Jones, who's again exploding past the yard marker, almost seemingly as soon as he gets the ball. He's a stride or 2 away from a first down as he gains 8.
Yeah, it seems when Sholo keys on that early, they're able to make that stop, but brings up a first down and move the chains. I believe Thatcher has all 3 of their timeouts, and Sholo's used 1. So as these clocks tick down, the clock isn't that much of a factor for the Eagles.
3:30 to go, 14-7, the Eagles lead. Continuing the same formation, move the receiver from the left to the right side as they're going to run this one to the left. And there is again Jones. As soon as he gets his hands around the football, he's just a hop and a skip away from a 6-yard gain, which he has.
Sholo's going to have to do something to respond to him breaking that quick. They're going to have to put a key on him. But at the same time, you got to count on your offensive lineman not hitting that key and taking him even farther up the field.
Already out at the 36, this drive started on the 30 after the Cougars could not take advantage of a 1st and 10 situation in the red zone after a blocked punt. Eagles watch the clock run under the 3-minute mark as they're at the line for a 2nd and 5. Jones has been the hot hand. Fake the handoff to him. Is now they're going to get to the quarterback. Napier is brought down well shy of the line of scrimmage. Indeed, it's a 6-yard loss.
Derek, looking down the field, the receiver was covered, and of course that Sholo defense, which has done a great job collapsing. But again, that's 3 times that we've seen Thatcher try to drop back and throw, 3 or 4, and it's not been effective. Whereas they're getting 5, 6, 7, 8 yards a chunk on offense.
2:32 to go in the half. 14-7. Thatcher leads. Will be facing 3rd and goal after this. And Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
I chose Northland Pioneer College because their prices were affordable. I've learned everything about the hair, skin, and nails. I've gained confidence in what I'm doing, so I'll be successful when I get out in the salon. This is an industry where I'll always have a job, and a job where I can express my creativity and make my own hours. I have transformed my life by coming to NPC.
And 14-7. Sholo trailing, but just picked up a big play defensively, sacking Napier for a 6-yard loss, setting up this 3rd and 11 play. But again, on the Sholo 42, this could be a 4-down situation with 2.5 minutes to play as they turn and give Jones. He's already through the left side as he's at the 35-30 and out to the 20. That's actually big, who has picked up a comfort mid-10 for first down after the Thatcher timeout on a gain of 16.
And it stops the clock with them having 2 timeouts. That's a huge play. I mean, it gets just too cliche. I hate saying it. It's important. It's this, it's that. But in reality, that really was. So good job there by the Eagles. Great play call. Kind of sucked that Sholo defense in tight and was able to bounce that around.
Bigham with 68 yards on 7 carries. He's off to the left in that wishbone formation as Napier under center. Runs this one to the right side. Pitches this one out late to Bingham, and he is going to get upended by a couple of different Cougars. Stopped after forward progress at the 26 and loses 3.
A couple of the Thatcher fans over here on our side thought there was a little extra going on after the play, but interesting to note. Great job by Sholo, though, in smelling out that option. I thought the first guy through had it because that seemed to have been a success. But obviously, Napier saw something that he didn't like and pulled the ball and gave it to that next back.
2nd and 13, continuing with the same formation as this time handoff goes to Oriero. He tries to dive up the middle, but it's well played by the Lobos, though they get the yards lost. The Cougars. Make it 3rd down and 10, but you ordinarily would say something like this with a team that likes to throw the ball 10 yards on a 3rd and long. Not a big deal.
I would say they go back to that, hit the option hard.
Well, they've been able to run for 10 yards a pop frequently as they pitch this one out to Jones as he's looking for some blocking help at the 20 and loses the football as he runs to the 18.
Eric, there was 7 Sholo Cougars right there to make that stop. And now we're going to get another timeout for Thatcher, and we're going to go to a 4th down. So they've got to come up with something right here.
1:12 to go in the half. 14-7 Thatcher leads. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
1:12 to go. 14-7 Thatcher leads. Is facing 4th down and 7. And already set up with this wishbone formation, which has been so successful. But now Cody Jones is coming off the field, and hurrying in his stead is Coy Ferris. Sholo now with all 11 players within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage and running into the neutral zone and making this a 4th and 2 is one of the Cougars' front. And that's a pretty big deal because gaining 2 yards for these big Eagles is a little bit different than gaining 7.
Thatcher with one timeout yet. Clock's at 1:12, as you guys can see on the YouTube broadcast, bouncing down to end this half.
So continue with this formation as Jones is again on the right side and gets the call as he easily picks up 2 yards plus another 4.
And noted here, Derek, the chains are there's no chains to be set, so as soon as that box is set, we're starting the clock. We're going to tick right at a minute before this plays even run. So Thatcher's got to come up with something pretty fast.
Comfort Fit Denture first down after Jones rushes for his 92nd yard. Hand off this one to Oriero, and he gets pushed back after he gains a yard.
And Thatcher not going to use that final timeout right here. They're going to let the seconds tick down.
They're going to have to probably throw this into the end zone once.
Which that's been an interesting thing. And then you bring up, possible fumble, possible anything to give these Cougars a chance.
Slowly getting to the line of scrimmage. The Eagle faithful getting a little bit anxious. Now under 30 seconds to play is the turn and give. Running to the left side from the right. Is that Jones? No, that was Bingham, and now they got to use that timeout.
20.6 seconds left. It is going to be 3rd and goal at the 5-yard line exactly, but they have been gaining 5 at a pop, so we'll see.
But if they don't get it, this is essentially the final play. I think they got to throw this one in the end zone.
And also noted, they do not get the ball. Cougars get the ball to start the second half. So if I'm Thatcher, of course, I want to get the ball in the end zone. Of course, Thatcher does want to score here. They want to get that and make that 21-7 spread to get into the locker room. But they do not get the ball to start the half. The Cougars do. But what adjustments are these teams going to make to start this second half to make these drives and for the Sholo to get back in this game?
Napier has attempted 3 passes. One of them was badly incomplete. He's also lost a combined 10 yards on 2 sacks. There's 20 seconds left in the half, and if they try to run something, they're not going to be able to get the ball set and back to the line of scrimmage in time to run a second one. It doesn't seem, but let me defer over here to Randall. I mean, how quickly can they get this thing set?
It can come quick. The officials are trying hard to get the ball set so that these guys can play, and we'll go from there.
Well, 3rd down and 5. As it's set on the 5 in an end goal situation, they're going to go away from the wishbone. Single back is Bingham. Napier under center. Take the handoff as he's going to throw this one. He's got a man caught at the goal line, and it's Oriero. Auto blast touchdown.
If you're going to complete the first pass of the game, it might as well be 6.
I had suspected that they were going to have to throw one, and the Cougars suspecting that this was going to be kept on the ground.
By the amount of confetti falling on us after these touchdowns, Eric, I keep expecting to hear Freddie Mercury and Queen telling us we are the champions. It's only a semifinal game.
Maybe somebody just started a confetti explosive business in the Gila Valley.
I have no idea. Let's check the Facebook page.
Extra point is up and good with 15 seconds left. Sholo right now reeling after a couple of lost opportunities. Recall that drive started for the Eagles after they were able to recover after a blocked punt was returned to the 18-yard line, and the Cougars go backwards. No points.
Eric, it couldn't have gone any worse for the Cougars and better for the Eagles to end this half. However, we did see Mr. Kishbaugh last week return a very long interception, so we know that the Cougars are capable of big plays. And right here is a chance for a big play. I don't know if your special team coordinates some kind of reverse, or Thatcher's been kicking it to about the 15, 20-yard line. We'll see what can happen. We'll see what this they could squib kick it, which I think would be very possible coming out of this break.
Kishbaugh is ready to go deep. Got Jet Walker and Chicken Pedraza in front of him, standing near the 20. And then in front of the two of them is Carson Cooper. So there's 4 capable playmakers waiting for this kick, which is going to be squibbed, taken by Reedhead. He's at the 40 and falls down to the 42. So they'll have 10 seconds to work with it. I don't know if Brewer has 60 yards in the arm, but I guess we'll find out here shortly.
They haven't had a lot of success throwing down the field this year. However, Brewer is a talented athlete. He's got some talented receivers. I look for them to go 5 wide and try to make something happen here.
Maybe a little bit of an opportunity for some hook and lateral. As they're going to send Reedhead out here to the right side on the short side. Kishbaugh, well, they're split backs.
Yeah.
As they're going to run this one with Pedraza, actually. There we go. As he runs this one all the way out to the left. He's at the 50, and he's down to the 40, and out of bounds with a second and a half to play. So,
and a flag just went up. And I think that's going to be, I'm not sure. Pedraza's helmet, is that Pedraza's helmet or Kishbaugh's helmet off down the field? And we're going to have a conversation between the deep wing and the white hat. And I'm not sure what's going to happen there, because I believe that was Kishbaugh that had his helmet off, and I'm not sure what happened. We don't have the advantage of replay right now.
Well, it's currently a 19-yard gain for Pedraza. Wyatt Nicholas was whistled for a personal foul. We don't have the advantage of replay to get back in there and see if perhaps he had assisted Kishbaugh's helmet off of his eye.
Randall's shaking his head yes, and I think Mr. Chavez in front of us is saying the same thing, that might have been that. So that puts Sholo in a little – they've got one play left. That's a 15-yard penalty tacked on at the end of the run.
Morgan's coming out. I think the Cougars are trying to get some points.
This is a long field goal, Derek.
This would be from 40. Pedraza is operating as the handler, as it's a good snap. The kick is blocked. And now here comes the return. Boy Ferris has got his hands on that one. Pedraza trying to force it to the sideline.
Okay, we have 3 flags that came out in 3 different places, and as we sit here and this is going to get sorted out, I want to be noted that this is a 7-man crew that's working here tonight, and a lot of these crews work with 5 men all year. So when it goes to these 7-man mechanics, they're a little bit rusty. And one of the things that was pointed out by our officials here in the booth, myself included, is they did not have 2 guys back deep under the goalpost. So as the kick was made, we didn't have 2 officials underneath. However, they were able to come forward, and one of those was through this flag. So we have the officials conversing in the middle, and we got a lot of pointing going on.
Now, did all of these flags come out after the blocked kick had already been returned?
The first flag came out during the kick. The second flag came out over here, which I'm not, and then the third, but they all came out in 3 different locations at 3 separate times. Oh, and Mr. Chavez is telling us that there is one down on the far side. So they're sorting.
Did they enforce this from the start?
We're going to see how they sort it out. We have the advantage of 3 guys that wear stripes up here in the booth. So we'll make sure we know.
My question is, if the first flag had occurred before the kick had been attempted, does that mean that is the flag that is enforced?
Well, I'm sorry.
He said they should all be enforced depending upon what had happened, or could all be enforced.
It could, and there are instances where the first flag is going to be enforced, and it will give Cougars back the ball. However, it depends on the sequence and the events.
All right, well, there.
On white, block on green, offset.
Okay, so all 4 flags looked as if they had seen 2 blocking infractions, which are now going to provide the Cougars with an untimed down.
It's another opportunity after the blocked field goal for the Cougars to put this up in the air. That's what happens when you have offsetting penalties, and that's what's the rule. And so we're going to go through and have this next. It looks like Sholo is going to go for it.
It seemed as if that last field goal attempt was being held really close to the line of scrimmage, probably because 40 yards is pushing Morgan's limit.
Absolutely.
So now, without wanting to risk that again, Pedraza is going to come out and operate as the quarterback, which is an interesting development in and of itself. Laid off the sideline for the Cougars is Carson Cooper, who's going to come off to the line off the right. And now
it looks
Sholo
like
wants to take a timeout.
They're going to take a timeout.
What the heck? We'll take it with them. 21-7. Thatcher is leading, and this will be the final play of the half after this. Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
I chose NPC because it offers good quality education. Ultimately, I want to be a nurse anesthetist. This is the start to that path. And instructors want you to succeed, which is really helpful. I've learned a lot so far in just one semester. It's kind of crazy how much I've learned. Northland Pioneer College is transforming my life by helping me achieve my goals in my career.
So let's go back to those 4 flags. As we're benefiting from Randall the White Hat up in the booth. Is the first flag looked like it could have been thrown as an offsides penalty.
It could have been thrown on as an offside penalty, but as we had sat and watched and waited for them to sort things out, all 4 flags were the same penalty. It was 1 penalty on one side, 1 penalty on the other, which then offsets the penalties, and then we're going to replay that down.
One of the things that note about this is these guys came together and they're wanting to get this call right. It's not like they're sitting out there talking about they've discussed what they've seen. They're now talking about what the enforcement's going to be to make this right. You get down to this point in the season, these are great officials. They do a great job. They're seeing things. They've been in tough games and big games all year. They want to get this call right, and they want to make it so there's no doubt on what this call is and the enforcement of these penalties. And what they did there was absolutely correct. And for the Sholo Cougars, it gives them another chance to put up a score.
Play's still being held up.
Here comes the White Hat over to discuss with Thatcher coach. And
it's just remarkable that it's required now 5 minutes of timeout, and there's still all sorts of
with no time left on the clock.
Yes.
It does not look like the Thatcher coach is upset. It looks like he simply wants an explanation.
We had a block roll on green, white. Green is behind the penalty. So first down going out.
Now, I'm not sure what happened there, but I'm going to probably defer to our more veteran officials on what happened there. So they called the ball for Thatcher.
So in this particular situation, what they are discussing amongst the officials is they're trying to find out if the penalty happened prior to the change of possession, or if it happened after the change of possession.
And the change of possession is the kick, not the reception of the block.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So that if that is the case, then this is the right call, right? The offsetting penalties occur after Sholo had lost possession due to kicking it away.
Correct.
I think right now the thing that's confusing the Sholo coaches is the assumption that the possession is not exchanged until after the kick is received.
They had signaled offsetting penalties, which would mean replay the down. And I'm not sure why that's changed, but now we're marking off yards. I've seen similar situations this year on special teams where I've been on a crew where this has happened, and I don't know if you guys realize this, but after the games, we're on group chats and texts. There's many times where I've called officials.
I think what happened is they're saying that there's only a blocking infraction on Thatcher. That Sholo
it has to do with that change of possession.
Oh, but why would you mark off 10 yards if there was?
Because of when the penalty occurred. I'm not sure of the explanation.
Well, he can advance that, right?
Yes, he can advance that because
it didn't cross the goal.
It did not cross the goal line. It's crossed the expanded neutral zone, and the ball was fielded. So let's take a timeout and we'll sort it out up here.
No, let's keep sorting it out. Because
if we go to a timeout, we can take off the headphones and sort it out.
I think what had happened, I think he had inadvertently said that they were offsetting because that's the only way that you would mark off 10 yards, right?
No, offsettings, nobody loses any yardage. Nobody loses any yardage on an offsetting penalty.
So that's why they mark off 10 yards, though, because it turns out Thatcher was the only team that had blocked anything below the waist.
Correct, Derek. That's what we've got. Is what he signaled was when it all came out that there was only one team that had been penalized for that, and then that's when they marched off 10 yards for the chop block.
So this is the rare occasion when a coach is saying, no, I'm the only side that committed a penalty. That was just me.
Correct. Yeah, it's one of those weird. It can get confusing sometimes when you've got 5 other guys throwing things at you. You just have to take a break, take a deep breath, and sort things out and get it right. Take the time to get it right.
What did we say? You're going to come in here, there's going to be something to sort out, and you're like, I don't know. Yes, there's going to be something.
At the end of the day, there's going to be something.
Well, all right, we're at halftime.
I think we need to discuss it when we get back.
What a weird half. 21-7, Thatcher leads here. And so we begin the Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport halftime report. We'll have more to talk about after this. Show the Fort's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Okay, so
who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
I really wanted to work with robotics. When you come here, you have to act mature and meet deadlines. It's going to help me and my associates, in which I'll be a step closer in college. I'm going to have to apply these skills to the workforce. My ultimate career goal would be to be a mechanical engineer. MPC is transforming my life.
Ace Hardware is certainly the place to get everything from hardware to tools, lumber to drywall, propane to wood pellets, and so much more. But did you know that Ace also has one of the White Mountain's best collections of artificial and silk flowers? Ace Hardware is the best place to find completed arrangements or get all your favorite individual items and make your own. If you're crafty, you'll love everything Ace Hardware has to redecorate your home or create unique, one-of-a-kind gifts in their complete craft section. Oh, and find an unlimited variety of herbal teas from the brand for tea's sake. Ace Hardware in Sholo, Pine Top, and Heber Overgard.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
I chose Northland Pioneer College because it's close to where I live. My instructor taught me how to build a foundation and framing and use different tools I haven't used. There's always been work everywhere. I want to get educated and start from the bottom and learn how to find myself and what I can do. MPC is transforming my life.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
I chose Northland Pioneer College because their prices were affordable. I've learned everything about the hair, skin, and nails. I've gained confidence in what I'm doing, so I'll be successful when I get out in the salon. This is an industry where I'll always have a job, and a job where I can express my creativity and make my own hours. I have transformed my life by coming to NPC.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Show Low. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable, always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
I chose welding because there's always going to be a job and you can go so many different directions within it. The professors helped me so much with getting my skill level up to where it needs to be and helping me progress in the ways that I want to. It teaches you really to be job ready, having a good attitude, and still working hard. NPC has transformed my life by giving me a skill and a trade that I can take with me wherever I go.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
I chose NPC because it offers good quality education. Ultimately, I want to be a nurse anesthetist. This is the start to that path. The instructors want you to succeed, which is really helpful. I've learned a lot so far in just 1 semester. It's kind of crazy how much I've learned. Northland Pioneer College is transforming my life by helping me achieve my goals in my career.
All right, at halftime here, it's the Sholo. Nope. It's the Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport halftime report. As this game got off with a loud bang.
A bang, Derek.
59-yard run from Cody Jones. Simple off-tackle explosion, which is kind of what he's been known for in this one. But one play into it, after a good return, Thatcher has a 6-0 lead after the extra point was not good. Sholo was able to move the chains once, but eventually forced a fumble that started a 53-yard drive that ended with Chicken Pedraza operating as quarterback because Nash Brewer had to come off the field for the remainder of that series after he got decked after a 9-yard first down run. After the Cougars were able to get the extra point, made it 7-6. Sholo looked as if it was going to provide itself with further opportunities. It's just Thatcher eventually wore him down, though they were able to keep it close with such things as fumble recoveries and blocked punts. There's just too much ground game happening for the Eagles. They would get the second score after a Damian Oriero run from 5 yards out. That capped a relatively long drive and then scored in the closing moments of the half with Brandon Napier converting his first pass for a 5-yard connection, again with Oriero. It has been an awful lot of Thatcher Eagle rushing attack that has really dominated this first half. And I guess since we finally got it out, let's go to the final play. When it looked as if the Cougars were going to have an opportunity to either kick a field goal to try to get a few more points or throw it into the end zone to try to get a couple of handfuls of points, instead wound up not being able to do so after it was initially signaled that there were offsetting chop block flags. It turned out to be Thatcher football after they walked off 10 yards, I guess. Is it 10 yards?
They marched off 10 yards. So let's recap on that. What happened is you have a penalty on the offense, and then you have a penalty on the defense on a 4th down on a punting situation. Now, what happened is the officials made the mistake of saying they're offsetting penalties. But what actually should have happened and did when they got it right at the end of the day is they went to the offended coach and asked him, do you want to accept the penalty? If they accept the penalty, then the penalties offset each other, the Cougars get the ball back, and then they can shoot for a field goal. But what happened is the coach declined the penalty so that they could get the ball back, but then they take the penalty of 10 yards, go back, and then they get the ball. So sometimes it can become a very sticky situation.
It's interesting because as Mr. Chavez up here and Mr. Anselmo and myself have worked together, we've actually had similar situations, and we had a similar situation in week 1 or 2 this year on 2 teams we were covering where it went very similar to that. And so we had hashed that out time and time again, so we kind of knew what was going on. So at the end of the day, even though the signal might have gone, we've been wrong to begin with. We have to understand that's okay because they got the call right in the end. And these officiating crews for these, end of the year games do a good job, and they've missed some things, but everybody's going to miss some things. No coach coaches a perfect game. Officials don't call a perfect game, but it's noted that they did get the call right in the end, Derek.
This is something that I've really come to appreciate this year. This is a game played not just by amateurs, but by children. And it gets awfully sloppy, and it's awfully hard for the officials, who are also doing this in their spare time, as you both can appreciate, to try to make sure that all of these things that are being conducted by amateur children are being sorted out properly. It gets awfully messy.
But you know what? The thing you got to realize is that it is, and I can only speak for the guys that I work with up on the mountain back home. And, we have group chats, we study the rules, and we talk to each other about these situations. And let me tell you, these guys, these men, they take it personally when they don't get something right.
Oh, I found that out the fun way.
Well, there you go. And they're gonna make darn sure that hey, the next time that happens, and kind of what we were discussing right there, it's a good thing. But you're right, it is a game played by young men, and it's officiated by old men, for a lack of a better term. But at the end of the day, I'm glad they got it right. It sets us up with the 21-7 ball game. I do think Sholo has some things in their arsenal where they can come back and make this, but they do get to start off the second half with the kick, and we just got to see how this is going to play out. But the officiating is going to be what it is. It's going to be, we shouldn't even notice it. We shouldn't have to be talking about it. But at the end of the day, again, they got it right, and we're moving on. It's a 21-7, pretty good ball game. It's not a blowout. It's not as close as we would like to see if you're the Sholo Cougars, but it's a good ball game, and we have some great things happening here at Mountain Pointe High School.
Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport halftime report will continue after this as Thatcher takes the field, leading 21-7. More to come on Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
I really wanted to work with robotics. When you come here, you have to act mature and meet deadlines. It's going to help me and my associates, in which I'll be a step closer in college. I'm going to have to apply these skills to the workforce. My ultimate career goal would be to be a mechanical engineer. MPC is transforming my life.
Ace Hardware is certainly the place to get everything from hardware to tools, lumber to drywall, propane to wood pellets, and so much more. But did you know that Ace also has one of the White Mountain's best collections of artificial and silk flowers? Ace Hardware is the best place to find completed arrangements or get all your favorite individual items and make your own. If you're crafty, you'll love everything Ace Hardware has to redecorate your home or create unique, one-of-a-kind gifts in their complete craft section. Oh, and find an unlimited variety of herbal teas from the brand for tea's sake. Ace Hardware in Sholo, Pine Top, and Heber Overgard.
Thatcher leading 21-7 at halftime, only 5 yards through the air, and that was a touchdown thrown between Napier and Oriero. Otherwise, on the ground, Cody Jones had a 59-yard score. He has run for 92 yards on 7 carries. Aiden Bingham has run for 68 yards on 9 carries. Damian Oriero has 40 yards on 8 carries. Coy Ferris, -2 yards on 2 opportunities, and Brandon Napier has rushed for -3 yards on 4 carries. Cougars have not had much to talk about offensively, as they've been really struggling with this really big front from the Thatcher Eagles. Nash Brewer has thrown 3 of 5 for 31 yards. His favorite target has been Colton Tidwell, who has 2 catches for 19. Ryan Kishbaugh has 1 for 12. Brewers carried the ball 3 times for -11 yards, but technically his only run where he was attempting to move forward was a 9-yard gain. Otherwise, he's lost 20 yards as a result of sacks. Chicken Pedraza has 27 yards on 5 carries. He has the lone touchdown. That was coming out of the quarterback position. Ryan Kishbaugh has carried the ball 5 times, gained 22 yards. Chet Walker, 1 carry for 3 yards. Carson Cooper, 1 carry for 7 yards, as the Cougars right now frustrating themselves after not being able to take advantage of a 1st and 10 situation from the red zone after a blocked punt. Have been able to take advantage of good field position as well. There's 2 possessions right now that really separate these 2 teams, and it's the Cougars not able to score after putting themselves in a fine scoring opportunity, but still with a half to play, going to get the ball right after this as they trail 21-7 in the closing moments of the Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime report. We'll start the second half on the other end. This is Sherlock Ford's presentation of high school football on 1067.com.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino. When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable, always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
21-7 here as the second half is about to begin. Cougars spent about 5 minutes more in the locker room than had Thatcher. So right now they are trying to limber up as the sun has descended behind South Mountain, and it has become Phoenix cold is, I think, what we would call this.
Phoenix cold is a good term. You know, Derek, last night I noticed as we were at the Arcadia Snowflake game that Arcadia was out with about 6 minutes left after halftime, whereas the Snowflake Lobos elected to come out about a minute before. And I thought it was really interesting because I thought Arcadia down 19-0 at that point, making these adjustments. So I found it interesting, too, that Thatcher kind of came out, did what they needed to do. Kind of tells me that they have confidence in their game plan, whereas Sholo's having to make some adjustments. And, you know, they're going to get the ball to start this half, and what adjustments they make is going to be huge as they go on, as the cliches say. And I think I'm full of cliches tonight, and I'm sorry for that, Derek.
Sholo right now, I mean, they're already keeping 11 players almost directly inside the box. I mean, as far as their adjustments go, I don't know what they're going to be able to do on the defensive side.
But that's hurt them on those runs to the outside, because one block and it's automatically it's at least a 12-yard gain after that point as they make that one block and they go. So, you know, right here, field position. Thatcher's done a great job on these kickoffs of keeping Sholo not much of a chance to return, and I look for the same thing here. But I don't think they've kicked it to Kishbaugh once. I think maybe the opening kickoff went to him. Be interesting to see, though, what Kishbaugh does if he gets a chance to run it here.
Kishbaugh doesn't usually receive these.
He's right in the middle,
He's in the middle right now, but usually Brewer would be doing this, as this one angling away from Kishbaugh and will be taken, fumbled, I should say, on the 15, try to set up a reverse, and no, because of the fumble, Thatcher is able to get the coverage down. Pedraza there dropped that one.
I believe Walker was the ball carrier who got the reverse. Pedraza had a rough time fielding it, and then I believe he gave it to the freshman Walker, who was around. And Walker's dropped there at the 18.5-yard line.
That was the Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, you should do so at Northland Pioneer College, because you'll pay the lowest tuition in the state. Got receivers stacked on the right, and Brewer. Oh, that's Pedraza. As he's shifting everybody in the backfield off to his left as he's now moving. Nope, his handoff is going to Walker, and he is spilled immediately.
Actually, I believe that's Derek Cooper was the ball carrier on that play right there. And we do not see Nash Brewer in a quarterback. Pedraza is going to be taking control. I wonder if Brewer has some symptoms of something. I don't know what the injury was, but this could be, you know, not good for the Cougars as we move on.
Don't see him on the sideline either.
I see him right by the stick there, the second stick right behind the coach in the yellow hoodie.
Okay.
I believe that's Brewer.
No, that's number 12.
No, that is number 12. That is not Nash.
Trips coming to the right. Single man wide left. Pedraza in an empty backfield is going to tuck this one. Run to the left as he gets to the 20, but will settle for a gain of 1.
Gain of 1 on the play. Thatcher smelt that one out. It looked like that was a design fake. And I'm really curious, Derek, with our Summit Healthcare injury report, what's happening with Nash Brewer?
When the Sholo offense has struggled even when he's been out there, so it's not something that you could say that he is derailing their opportunity. Is now into the neutral zone, and there's the flag. One of the Eagles was a little bit antsy.
Antsy, and going to cost them 5 yards, which gives it a little more
Kishbaugh has not been able to get many touches. Is one big change since Brewer has not been available at quarterback, as Pedraza's been doing a lot more design runs when he's been out there. Now going under center, going to fake the handoff as he pump fakes and has this one deflected. It is not a fumble. It's an incomplete pass, but jumping up there and getting in the way for Thatcher was Brandon Napier,
the quarterback. And that's going to bring up 4. It's going to be a sure punting situation for the Sholo Cougars at this time. Looks like Thatcher running some returnment in. They're going to put 2 deep back, and this could be a big, because I do not know if Brewer's punting or not, if Pedraza's taking
Pedraza.
over.
He has a pretty good leg.
It's
a low liner and easily returned, though, fumbling on the exchange, running over into Sholo territory before being sent back by a few Cougars. Might have been Rios.
Derek, it looked like to me that he almost
Jet Howard.
It almost looked like to me that it was fielded off his knee. I'm gonna deflect here to our white hat in the booth, Randall Anselmo. Randall, did you see his knee down? Did you think his knee was down, or was he down back? What did you see there?
It didn't look like his knee touched the ground. It was close enough that you could consider that, but if he didn't touch the ground with his knee, he's still able to advance that football.
Right, the knee is down in high school football. We're not playing Sunday rules. We're playing Friday rules on a Saturday night.
That's correct.
10:18 to go in the third quarter, 21-7 with the football in the lead. Thatcher in the I formation as the option is set up and pitched behind the intended man, which was Bingham, and Sholo comes up with a huge play on its first offensive opportunity in the second half.
The chicken man jumped on that. Pedraza comes up with that fumble, and we're going to get great field position by Sholo. But let's talk about Napier. As he had nowhere to go, and that pitch was smelt out right away, and it almost looked like his arm went back, and he was forced back as he went to pitch that ball.
So with Pedraza, who just recovered the fumble, coming back out as quarterback from the shotgun, short drop looking left, throws this one high. Coming up with it is Kickoff for a gain of 4.
Interesting. I still don't see Nash Brewer even on the sidelines right now. It looked like when he came out that last time that he had a leg taped up possibly. His legs were, I'm not sure what it is, possible concussion, but I doubt if there was concussion, he would have even been allowed back in. So hopefully it's not a head injury, and we'll look to see where this goes with Pedraza.
2nd and 6, and that's something that you could come to expect with the backup quarterback in there. Everybody's not on the same page.
And Derek, that's unfortunate right there because that negated everything that, well, we have a conference here. We're going to see what they do. They're going to call that a false start against the Cougars, which is going to take them back to the original line of scrimmage.
So push this one back to 2nd and 11, all the way to the Thatcher 45. This drive starting after Napier's option pitch went behind Bingham. Is now in motion. Give this one away to Kishbaugh. Cuts it up and spins at the 45. Now he's at the 35 and very close to the yard marker as he gains 10.
That's one thing is Kishbaugh was pretty slippery last week against the Paradise Saunders Panthers. And against these Eagles tonight, that's the first time I've seen him slip through. Brewer had a couple plays where he was, able to elude the defenders, but that was just great running and great cutting by Kishbaugh. Sholo in a bit of a hurry up here.
There's some confusions about whether they should move the chains. And now they're saying that was an 11-yard gain. So a comfort fit denture first down for Kishbaugh.
Interesting, the lineman on that side, that's the correct mechanic if I'm right there, Mr. Anselmo, to get that clock stopped and move those chains.
Hand off, Kishbaugh out of the I formation, runs to the left and goes over the 30. Gains 7.
Derek, that's the same play we saw a lot of success with last week as Kishbaugh comes around the corner. I look almost now, again the offensive mindedness I was talking about earlier. Are they going to run the same play to this side and have Kishbaugh cut up? Because on this far side where he has this wide side to run, he makes one cut. He's going to be gone.
21-7, the Cougars trail, but trying to take advantage after the turnover. 2nd and 2 from the 26. It's a handoff this time. No, it's Pedraza keeping this one, running around some blockers to the right side, gets to the 20, and is very close to a comfort fit first down, but a flag is down.
I think that's in the vicinity of holding. I felt like I saw 2 holds coming out. We don't have the advantage of replay, but is that the linesman? And it is exactly that, and that's going to be big. Now, the question is, Mr. Anselmo, he was over for the first down. The flag was dropped. Are they going to give him credit for the first down, or are they going to back this up?
Well, it being a spot foul from where it's at, it could have been from the spot of the foul, but because it is where the flag was, they're going to take it from the line of scrimmage and they're going to move it back 10 yards. They're going to repeat this down.
Effectively negating the first down yardage.
Correct.
So it pushes it to the 30. 2nd down and 6. As the multi-headed rushing attack right now with Pedraza at quarterback, going under center with Kishbaugh again, dotting the I. Pressure being shown as this one's going to get blown up by that huge Thatcher front, and a loss of 2 for Kishbaugh. You can see pressure coming from that right side on the defensive front, and Pedraza, who is operating as the backup quarterback, when they're showing pressure that early in the set, you ordinarily might think that the quarterback might check out of it, but Pedraza, usually a running back in this situation, so perhaps a little unfamiliar, is now he sets it up. Now everybody again on a different page. And again, with the backup quarterback out there, that's something one might expect.
You know, when you see a backup quarterback come in the game, there's two things that I always notice. One is the timing of the line, the get off. Two is we just seem to have some false starts. But the third thing is that we don't see when they go under center is there's a lot of times that first snap is fumble. And Pedraza came under center for one of the first times he's been. So we'll see what happens here on this exchange.
Third down, now 13. As he's under center, moves the pocket to the left with pressure coming from behind, and he's going to be brought down at the 45.
Pedraza did not even see that pressure coming. I believe the pressure was put on by number 32 for the Eagles. Number 32, Cody Jones, comes in and puts the pressure and drops Pedraza. He's going to go double sticks, and we're going to have a fourth and halfway to Tucson.
21 yards with 7 minutes and 30 seconds remaining as we get a new kicker, or punter, I should say.
Which for Pedraza had done a very good job punting.
This is Cutter Pepper who gets this one away. It's a good high hanger, angling to the left, takes a Cougar bounce toward the sideline, and a long field awaiting Thatcher. One play here in the first 8 minutes. Well, I beg your pardon, 5 minutes for the Eagles, and that was an errant option pitch that resulted in an opportunity again for the Cougars offense that they could not take advantage of, but it's a little bit easier to understand now with Pedraza in as the backup quarterback.
We've had 2 possessions by the Cougars. We've had 2 punts. Thatcher's had 1 possession, resulted in a fumble to catch everybody up this half. 21-7. We're just over 7 minutes left in this third quarter of football.
Eagles continuing with the wishbone as under center goes Napier. Hand this one off to Oriero, who is up front and winds up diving forward for 2.
You know, Derek, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. I wonder if these Eagles could be content to do that, because if they do that, I think they can grind out this ball game and win. You had mentioned something at halftime as we were on a break about Sholo packing that box, and that is true. There is nobody more than about 6-7 yards off that ball on that last play.
And it's kind of been working right into Cody Jones' favor as he is off on the right of that wishbone. Going to get the call here, but this time the defense was ready for him as he gets stood up at the line of scrimmage to make it 3rd and long.
I'm not sure, but it looked like Stetson Walters came in and made that stop. I'm not 100% positive, but I believe I see that young man, the senior down there. No, it was not him. I'll still give a shout-out to Stetson, good young man. I believe that was number 83 making the stop there.
3rd down and 8. As a wide receiver comes off the sideline, Oriero trots out of play. 2 receivers coming to the left. And ordinarily, in passing situations, Napier has been put into a world of hurt. He's going to work from the shotgun. Man coming in motion is they fake the handoff to him. Napier now is going to run it up the gut, goes over the 20, and has enough for a comfort fit Denver first down.
You know, that's a great call right there, because I'm not sure if he called his own number, if it was a true option. But the thing I want to say is that with Sholo looking at the pass, and they were so, guarded on defending that pass, when he stepped up in that pocket, he had a clear cut to his left, and he was able to make that big yardage right there and bring up that first down.
21-7, the Eagles lead after moving the chains with 5 minutes and 30 seconds to play in the third. Sholo has had opportunities, just has not been able to take advantage. They have all their players now within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. The handoff this time is to Oriero, and he gets dropped immediately for a short loss.
Yeah. Derek, something I was just thinking about as we go through. This is an intense semifinal game. We got a 21-7 ball game, so we're not able to get to some of the banter you and I normally do. And I think I like having these close games and talking about the game rather than getting off on that. But it's been a good night of football here from Mountain Pointe High School.
It's actually a 2-yard loss for Aiden Bingham. 2nd down and 12. Again going to the wishbone. And again going to Bingham as he's trying to get to the right side, but the Cougars are there in pursuit to stop him for no gain.
A host of Cougars in on that stop, I believe. Number 74 for the Cougars, Marcus Henderson, led that what do you call I know you have a pack of lobos, you have a flock of seagulls, or what is a group of cougars called?
Pride.
A pride of cougars?
Oh, is that lions though?
The lions are pride because we're at the Mountain Pointe Pride. I don't. Is it? It's just something to think about.
I bet it's a cuddle.
You biologists at home, you can text me and tell me how right or wrong I am. But I'm curious what a bunch of cougars is called.
Split backs behind Napier as he fakes the handoff, starts rolling to his left. Now he's going to wind up where he's looking for a man downfield, and well defended there as stride for stride with the intended man was Jake Decker.
One of the things I want to note there is you saw the Thatcher player fall to the ground and then throw his arms up like there was a pass interference. And my thought to him is the ball was underthrown. Both gentlemen have the right to go to that. Is that what you saw, Mr. Anselmo?
I was digging out some answers for you, and I was not paying attention. I apologize.
That's why I called Johnny, but I'm just kidding there. Thank you.
Gishbaugh going to receive this punt with the clock stopped at 4 minutes and 2 seconds to play. Cougars get a big stop, only allow 1 first down. Now they just got to get the offense in motion as they trail 21-7.
Derek, the wind just picked up here a little bit. That could play a little bit of a factor on this punt.
Kick is away. It's short. And takes a Thatcher bounce.
That's a great Thatcher bounce. That is a great Thatcher bounce.
Rolled about 15 yards down to the Sholo 44, but still good field position for the Cougs, who trail 21-7. 3:52 to go here in the third. So Cougars don't run in packs of any sort?
They do not. They are
Do they
considered,
cuddle, though?
I don't know if they cuddle, but they run. They are a solitary group.
Cougars.
What makes one wonder how they date?
Well, I don't think we want to get into Cougars and dating while we're on the air.
3:52 to go. Handoff to Walker as he comes over the right side, nearly runs through another tackle, but he gets into Thatcher territory for a comfort fit Denture first down.
Jet Walker, the freshman, great job. Great way to get those positive yards. This could be some momentum shifting for the Cougars right here.
Walker now with 17 yards on 2 carries. As he's got a little bit more size to deal with a lot of these big Eagles, is now going to him again, trying to run him to the left. But he runs into one of his own
runs
men.
into the wall. He's going to get dropped for about a 4-yard loss there.
I think that that time the Eagles kind of called off the attack a little bit with the front four. And the Sholo offensive line was a little taken aback.
Well, we'll see if they're going to trust Pedraza out of the gun here. Well, they're going to trust 5 wide to make this play.
Pedraza, of course, a running back, so he can definitely run out of this formation. But he's looking to throw, goes underneath where it's caught and spun out of bounds after the grab was had by Reedhead.
And that's going to be a 3rd and 5. Oh, no, they marked it back a little bit more. I don't have the vantage point on that side. So I thought he had gained almost 5, but they marked it back.
He did.
He gained 5, excuse me.
On the previous play.
Excuse me, Derek. I thought he was going to be 3rd and 5, but it didn't work that way.
So it's 3rd down and 7. As again with an empty backfield, Pedraza, short drop, now moves to the right, looking upfield. Going to tuck it, trying to get a block, and they're going to call the crack back there.
Yeah, that's going to be an illegal outside block. The Thatcher fans are yelling to kick out, but I don't think that's kick out worthy. Do you think so, Mr. Anselmo?
No, the ejection comes from the intent to injure. So on a blindside block, it's just a block, and it's a dangerous block.
It's a personal foul, so it's going to be 50 yards against the Cougars.
Now, what if he didn't try to say block, instead just kind of ran in the way? Is that still a penalty if he is just kind of obstructing one's ability to tackle?
Well, you have to also understand a lot of officiating is judgment call, and it's up to the official if he felt if there was intent or if it was malicious or if it was accidental. But remember, even on an accidental, it's still a foul.
And what Mr. Anselmo brought up there is the intent of the foul. And there is a way to legally blindside block without – I think he's going the wrong way. The Thatcher fans are letting him Hey, at the end of the day, they're getting the call right. And Derek, for your information, I just got a text, and although we have Cougars as a solitary animal, it is a soar of eagles.
A soar of eagles.
So just so our biologists out there keeping us on our toes, and we thank you at home for doing that.
Yes, and
I'm sorry,
I'm
Derek.
also curious how these people who are texting us about how animals pack themselves are dating as well.
Well, the Lobos are packs. We know that.
Okay.
And we're going to stick with that. Hey, we don't even know what a group of Roadrunners is called. Let's find out what that one is.
3rd and 22 after the penalty. Pedraza now going to throw this one up for grabs, and it's intercepted at the 40. Looking for some blockers as it's over the 50, and by the face mask, he's brought down as that was Aiden Bingham on the interception.
Yeah, we're going to get a face mask call. That's going to tack on an additional 15. That's going to bring up absolute 100% good field for the Thatcher Eagles, and they are poised to bring this into a lot more a 3-score game.
Well, so it was returned to the 36, but they're going to put 15 on to take it down to the 21.
It should be noted in high school that you have the incidental 5-yard face mask and the personal foul 15. This, to me, has all the feel of a personal 15. That 5-yarder isn't actually utilized that much. So here we go.
Yeah. He tackled him with his face mask. Pedraza credited with the interception, but really that is just because the offensive line from Sholo is just having all it can handle from the defensive front from Thatcher.
Absolutely, and Thatcher's able to put the pressure, but Sholo's kind of returning the favor to the Thatcher Eagles as we move through this ball game.
2 minutes and 3 seconds to play in the third quarter, and Thatcher now with an opportunity after the turnover and penalty. They've been using the wishbone exclusively since early in the second quarter, but now they got a couple of running backs that are just split behind, and the handoff goes to Oriero. And he runs over the right side for about 5. Damian Oriero with 47 yards. Aiden Bingham, who just had that interception, with 67. Cody Jones with 92. And Brandon Napier, who was a question mark as far as his health was concerned coming in, has just not needed to do much because of the stable of running backs behind him. Right now, Bingham dotting the I, but the handoff goes to Oriero, the up man, and he's stopped at the line of scrimmage for little to no gain.
Walter's in there. And Derek, we have another text informing us that a group of Roadrunners is called a marathon
or a run.
See, I thought you were going to say we had another text from somebody who said that they're doing just fine with the ladies while they know all these things about animals.
You know, and we do know it's a swarm of jackets, a pack of Lobos, a pride of Panthers, or they're a solitary animal. Now, the next one, people, is give us what a Mogollon Mustang, a group of them, is as we continue with this 3rd and 5. We have to have something to lighten the mood up here.
I guess. Under a minute to go. 3rd down and 5 from the shotgun. Napier fakes the handoff, now trying to run to the left, but excellent pursuit as he was stopped by Pepper.
Oh, my goodness,
and
that
he's
could
hurt.
be huge.
Napier,
that could be huge.
Not necessarily for this ball game, but for the potential of an absence of his play in the championship game.
Well, right now, Derek, they are only up 2 scores, and Sholo has kind of made their own mistakes. So
Napier, who
it is also going to bring up 4th
a
down.
Bad left leg, and that looks to be, as we take a peek at the Summit Regional Medical Center injury report.
Derek, not to lighten the mood here with Napier, but it's a herd of Mustangs.
He's favoring the left leg.
And he is favoring that left leg. That's the injury that we saw earlier.
With his team leading 21-7 in the defense dominant, I would be surprised if his services are going to be required from this point forward.
Well, with their run-heavy game, they don't lose a ton giving to those their big backs. They do lose a lot on the option game.
Now he's a little bit more confident in his stride now.
But they're going to have to do a backup for this 4th down and short play.
Backup is Eccles.
I believe this might be the last play to take us into the 4th quarter, Derek.
And going to put him under center again with the wishbone. Running to the left side and having
He's
enough
over
for the first down.
and they're going to stop it. Now, Thatcher has an option here, Derek. The clock's going to start on the signal. They can run this to the quarter, or they can try to get that extra play off. If I'm them, I think I might be content to run. No, it doesn't look like it looks like they are coming to run a play. They're getting up to the line extremely fast as the clock ticks to 20 seconds.
Brent Jones in at quarterback for the Eagles. And now after looking as if they were going to hurry to the line to try to run one, I think that
Brent Jones, no slouch, 6'2", 195 sophomore for the Eagles.
That's going to be the final play as they'll be facing 10 from the 12 with Brandon Napier, who looks like he's getting ready to kick off the shoe on the sideline. We'll keep an eye on him as the final period of the semifinal matchup is going to start after this. It's Show Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
I really wanted to work with robotics. When you come here, you have to act mature and meet deadlines. It's going to help me and my associates, in which I'll be a step closer in college. I'm going to have to apply these skills to the workforce. My ultimate career goal would be to be a mechanical engineer. MPC is transforming my life.
I think that the Cougars might have just forced another turnover.
I believe it's a fumble. We're getting word up here in the booth that it's a fumble, and Cougars are going to take over to start this fourth quarter.
They had the first run. It was Damian Oriero, and he was able to get 3 yards, but now trying to bounce it outside where they were looking to pitch it to Cody Jones with Brett Jones, the backup quarterback, but he was not able to do so as I couldn't see what had happened. But in any event, here are the Cougs still trailing just 2 touchdowns as they're going to start this possession deep in their own territory. Give goes Kishbaugh, tries to go to the right side, and winds up gaining 2, maybe, 1. So 11 minutes and counting as the Cougars playing the second half without Nash Brewer under center. Chicken Pedraza has been doing so, and the offense has been ground heavy and a little bit stally as Pedraza drops back into his end zone. Now having to run out is going to be.
They are going to mark him. They are going to mark him. Now, Mr. Anselmo, explain to us now the momentum and what you saw there as he was in the end zone and effectively he came out and got back in. What are you seeing there?
Okay, so on this particular play, he did go back into the end zone, but he did make a forward progress beyond the end zone line. And so that's where the officials marked him. They marked him back at his forward progress, even though he was hit and taken back into the end zone, so it's not considered a safety.
Absolutely.
So also had a holding flag that was thrown in the midst of all that. Had that occurred in the end zone, that also could have been a safety, correct?
Well, and it still marks the ball half the distance. I've actually seen it, Derek, where the ball has been so close and we've had a penalty that they turned the ball sideways.
They actually declined the penalty to Thatcher, so it's 3rd down and 15. This is inside the 1.
Dangerous position for the Cougars to be in.
Pedraza going without anybody else in the backfield. Drops back deep. Now he's going to unload. Throws a bit of a curveball that's intercepted at the 20. And brought down by Kishbaugh from behind. But such is the Sholo offense when they're trying to operate without Nash Brewer.
Yeah, Derek, it's hard, and you can't blame Pedraza for that. Pedraza's doing everything he's been asked to do. He's trying to do it. That's a hard play. That's a 3rd and 15, a 3rd and 16 for a backup quarterback to make. Let's credit Pedraza, sticking his nose in there, doing what he can. But Thatcher intercepts the ball, but it puts them back in a position where they were to start this quarter.
Now starting in the red zone, remember the Cougars had 1st and 10 from the 18 after blocking a punt, but wound up losing 12 yards. In the closing moments of the second quarter. At that point, they were only trailing 14-7. Thatcher.
Oh, no, we're under center now.
Oh, no, he's got him back out there and trying to run. That's an interesting choice there with Napier both back out there after looking like he was badly injured. And
Napier too got brought down by Jeremy Kishbaugh, and he got brought down. It looked like that Kishbaugh took his, which is legal, took his legs out as the runner, and it looked like it was almost on that bad leg. We saw him with his shoe off just, less than 8 minutes ago. Thatcher content to just let this clock tick down.
And with that, I mean, they got the 2 touchdown separation. They got 3 able backs behind him. I think at this point, I'm just trying to keep Napier healthy.
I know he might have called his own number.
We
have another fumble. And that looks like Sholo has jumped on it. It has been signaled that way. And Sholo's going to get another opportunity. Thatcher is doing everything they can to give these Sholo Cougars opportunities. You know, the umpire on that crew came in right away and signaled that ball dead and blew it Sholo's way. So we're going to get a Cougar first down, a Comfort Fit Dentures first down, might I add.
So started off on the 19. They have 81 yards separating them and 2 touchdowns on the scoreboard. Got to get some plays operating in chunks to the Cougars as
they got to do what's worked for them. And like you said, they got to get chunks and they got to get positive yards every play.
Pedraza takes the shotgun snap, rolls to the right, throws this one into the flat where his man was open but can't handle it. Dropping that one, I believe, was Reedhead.
Derek, does it feel to you like the Sholos and rolling Pedraza out and trying to throw them, that they're getting a little bit away from maybe what their game plan is, and they're showing a little bit of desperation? I do understand we're going to be under 9 minutes here pretty soon, but it feels a little bit desperate to be rolling out and trying to make these 8-10 yard gains when they do have Kishbaugh, who off tackle has had an okay night.
I think that the desperation source is the lack of Nash Brewer, though.
I don't disagree with that either. These Cougars without their leader, the junior Nash Brewer.
Pedraza goes under center of the I formation behind. Hand this one off and stopped immediately, if not sooner.
I think they pulled that play out of the Thatcher playbook and effectively stopped it. The Eagles stopped it about how the Cougars have been stopping that this half. So
Carson Cooper on the carry gets no gain.
We're gonna click down to 9 minutes here. Still a 2 touchdown lead. We got 3rd and 10. The Cougars haven't moved it at all this drive.
Single back behind, and Pedraza pressured. Powell fake, and now brought down deep in his own territory. Loss of 10.
That's going to bring up a 4th and 20, and we're going to see if they're going to – there looks like they are bringing the punter out. It looks like they're going to bring Pedraza out and bring in and I forget the name, but it was a great punt last time. That's 83. Is it Cutter Pepper?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cutter Pepper to punt.
Gets this one again, high and deep, and will take a bounce laterally. It's going to roll back toward to favor the Eagles, but that was a nicely kicked ball out of his own end zone there by Cutter Pepper.
All right, Derek, is that a 55-yard punt, 56-yard punt, plus the yards for the end zone? So that's a 60-yard boot there.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not 60, but
8 minutes separating the Thatcher Eagles from a trip to the state championship.
A rematch.
Game. Yes. Ball game that they'd already won, I believe, by a point.
It was an interesting, in fact, as we talked about the officiating, we had a discussion about the call that ended that game many Friday nights and how that crew did a great job and got that call right down at Thatcher.
Back out at quarterback, Brandon Napier. as he fumbled the most recent snap. He'd also been helped off the field in the third quarter, but is back out there and seemingly no worse for the wear.
Seems to be doing fine. Seems to be moving okay. Maybe, just re-aggravated whatever it was, but comes out.
Handoff running up the middle is Napier. Nope, I beg your pardon. That is Oriero as he gains 5.
Derek, I don't know if you can add it up real quick, but how many yards does Oriero have tonight?
55.
Yeah, it's 55. And who broke off the long run to start the game?
Cody Jones.
And so we're looking, Thatcher's got about 150 yards on the ground.
Well, let's see.
Is it
They
more
got
than
125. They have 215-ish.
There you go, ish. Thank you.
As this one again goes to Oriero, this time again diving over into Sholo territory. A gain of 4 makes it 3rd and 1.
There we have it again, Derek, is chunking those positive yards. And I think right now in a semifinal game, whether they score or whether they don't score, it's still in the driver's seat to win and to punch their ticket to that championship game. It's up Desert Vista, correct? It's not here. Yeah, okay.
3rd down, actually 2. Cougars got to get a stop, and then they got to get some points. Playing without their quarterback and safety, it ought to be noted.
Nash Brewer has been a huge part of this Cougar defense.
Split backs going behind Napier. Oriero and Bingham as they go with Oriero, and he is brought down right at the line. No gain, so there's the stop seemingly, but 6 minutes and 40 seconds left.
Derek, if I'm Thatcher, I might even take a timeout here, and I might go out to my offensive line and say, you know what? This right here could be the game winner. You guys get it for me. You linemen, you get those Cougars off the ball, and let's chunk this ball and get the first down. Obviously, they're not taking the timeout, but I'm sure that's the mentality and the mindset going into this snap.
They're bringing the offense back out. Wishbone behind Napier, handed off to Oriero, and he gets stood up. He does not have it.
The lineman on this side, he does not have it, and that lineman came in pretty quick. He is sure of that spot. He has that foot ready saying, that ball is right here. We're going to get a first down for the Sholo Cougars.
But it's all for naught unless the Cougars can start finding some points. They still have a little more than half of the fourth quarter, but very few yards and no points to show for it.
Well, he's pretty sure. We're going to have a measurement, Derek. I think we're going to bring the chains out and we're going to see. No, they're not even going to give a measurement. They're going to signal first down for these Sholo Cougars.
So a turnover on downs.
And Derek, again, noted Nash Brewer's absence as Pedraza comes out to captain the offense for the Cougars.
Going to be working with an empty backfield. Kishbaugh in the slot on the right. 5 receiver set. Pedraza ordinarily a running back, so you can look for him to run in this situation. No, he's going to throw it as he drops it off to a crossing pattern that's caught in the Thatcher territory and run out of bounds at the 37. As there is Colton Tidwell with his first catch, a Comfort Fit Denture first down, and miraculously, but 1 second comes off the game clock.
Derek, interesting to note too is if you're asking Pedraza to do stuff like that, that was very well run, very effective. So look for him to go back to some of these things that Pedraza has done well in his backup role through the season.
Again with a short drop, this time pressured and brought down. No, he's still on his feet, trying to unload it. Instead, fumbles it for a further loss, but they're going to say there's forward progress.
Yep.
Is going to take him back to the 42, still loses 4.
And I absolutely agree with the linesman there coming in and marking that ball. He's sure of that spot. He knew what was happening. So they're actually going to move it up from where he was brought down. Move it up. I mean, they're going to put it where his progress was halted, and it's going to bring up a second and very long for the Sholo Cougars.
5:40 to go, 2nd and 14. Every second precious. Cooper goes in motion left to right, pressured from behind. Pedraza trying to get it to him, but airmails, but hold the phone.
I think he might have snapped it prematurely. Officials timeout. So we've got something going on down there that we're going to, and it looks like we have a mishandled equipment because they're sending the player off, and they're going to have to replace him for one play. Mr. Anselmo, can you help us out and explain that a little bit?
So one of the biggest things that they try to enforce is not to have jewelry. It looked like he was actually taking something off of his wrist.
But this late in the game, would you see that normally?
Absolutely. If you're going to call it in the first quarter, you've got to call it in the fourth quarter. And that's what they want us to do, is to stay consistent.
Gotcha.
So 2nd and 14. Cooper again going in motion. Now he's going to go back to the left side. Pedraza, as the Sholo coaches are becoming animated on the
clock's
sideline.
running, and it's
well, in the meantime, here's Cooper getting this one again in the flat, but forced toward the 40, where they're going to blow the play dead and stop the clock with 5:02 to go.
Now, what the coaches were complaining about is they're pointing to the clock, saying the clock was running, but it's noted that they threw that player out while the clock was running. So as soon as he was replaced and the official timeout was over, that clock is going to start back up again. Correct, Mr. Anselmo?
That is correct.
That's all? That is correct?
That's it.
Wow, there's no editorial. Randall at a loss for words is one of the few times I've seen that in life.
Jet Walker was initially in the backfield. Now he's in motion right to left. Pedraza from the shotgun, moving the pocket to the left. Pressure from behind, trying to wind up as he gets rid of this one as he's hit. Throws us into double coverage where he's looking to try to find Colton Cloyd, but it's instead overshot and incomplete.
There is a flag down. The flag is blending with the colors of the Mountain Pointe logo in the middle of the field. I think we might get a hold on the Sholo Cougars. No number, but a hold at this point. That's going to back up a long ways. I'm actually surprised Thatcher is taking this back and not declining it.
Well, I mean, it would have been 4th and 12, and Sholo would have been going for it. So this makes it now.
It's
3rd
still
and 26.
Yeah, I think we're halfway to South Mountain.
South Mountain's right there, man.
Well, that's true. It's halfway to downtown or whatever's that direction. Just saying.
5 receivers set. Pedraza from the shotgun. Drops back, pressured, throws this one over the middle where he has his man caught at the 40, so they get all those yards lost from the hold, but it's going to be 4th and, well, no, it's going to be 4th and 12.
Yeah, that's you actually set it up right. They have 2 chances here, and they got about half of it back. So let's see if they can get the other half back right now.
4th and 12. Just as it would have been had it not been a holding flag, and the umpire comes in to stop play as Pedraza's trotting off the field. And now Sholo calls a timeout. 4:25 left, 21-7. The Cougars trail. Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Ace Hardware is certainly the place to get everything from hardware to tools, lumber to drywall, propane to wood pellets, and so much more. But did you know that Ace also has one of the White Mountain's best collections of artificial and silk flowers? Ace Hardware is the best place to find completed arrangements or get all your favorite individual items and make your own. If you're crafty, you'll love everything Ace Hardware has to redecorate your home or create unique one-of-a-kind gifts in their complete craft section. Oh, and find an unlimited variety of herbal teas from the brand for tea's sake. Ace Hardware in Sholo, Pine Top, and Heber Overgard.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
All right, 4th and 12, and this very well may be the ball game. 21-7, the Cougars are trailing. Pedraza has had to play quarterback throughout the second half, and
Derek, they got to be a little bit careful here because that play clock is not a 40-second play clock right now. That is a 25-second play clock, so we're seeing what's happening. And the Sholo coaching staff is, I believe that's the defensive coordinator, Coach Hawkins, so there's some confusion here. The clock hasn't started, and it looks, but we haven't had a signal for an official timeout. However, the coach is on the field, so we're looking at what's going on, and they're trying to give an explanation. We can't really hear what's going on. We'll see. He gives
Jet Walker.
Okay, he just gave the ready to play signal, so we have 25 seconds. But it looks like Jet Walker's coming in as the quarterback.
I wonder if Pedraza was forced off the field.
I wonder if there was an illegal equipment issue with Pedraza. That's all I can figure. Mr. Anselmo agrees with me.
Well, here's a tight spot as Walker, the freshman, drops back, looking to throw as he unloads again into traffic. It's deflected and knocked down by a couple of different Eagles. Kishbaugh was in the neighborhood.
that's a hard thing to do, to make a freshman come in and make that pass. But obviously, from what I've seen, it looks like Pedraza was removed from the game for maybe an illegal equipment. Maybe he didn't have his mouthpiece in.
Well, what we've got here, guys, is they sent him off for some type of an equipment issue. They called timeout trying to save him, but that's not how the rule is written. If you're sent off for equipment, you cannot be saved by a timeout. So when the timeout was over, he tried to come back on the field and then was pushed back.
Look at that. Here's Napier, handed off Jones over the 45 down to the 46.
That was a very quick 6 yards gained. So, yeah, that's something a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken, a few years ago you were able to call that timeout and not burn that one play with the player. But now and I'm not being critical, and I'm not saying I'm great, because I understand a little more of the rules. I don't understand them all. But as we look at that, there's things that are different that go from year to year. There's things that happen, breaking the huddle with 12, the sleeper play. Those type of things are different and have changed over the years.
Napier with the I formation. 2nd down and 4, trying to use as much clock as possible as he turns and gives Bingham, skips over the 50 and has enough for a comfort fit Denture first down.
You know, Derek, Sholo without Brewer, they just look a little bit beaten right now, and I don't mean that in a bad way. They've given a great effort. They've brought the game they can, but when you don't have your captain out there, you don't have your leader, it's very tough. And they've gone to the backup for one play, and it happened to be a very, very big 4th down play as well.
1st and 10 from the Sholo 48, 3 minutes and 9 seconds left. Sholo has its full allotment of timeouts, but I don't know if it matters because they got to score twice to the Cougars. Handed off to the right side, Jones, again with that huge surge as he takes it to the 41, gains 7. He's now with 105 yards, and still more than half of them were gained on the first play of the ball game. So 41, and it seems as if the Cougars right now are approaching this as if it's a matter of academics. And it's hard to fault the line of thinking or strategy because, again, without Brewer, there just hasn't been enough offense. The Cougar defense has
had a rough time
provided them
going
with enough opportunities. They just have not had the
You know, that's actually a really good point. We'll get to that after this play, Derek.
I formation again behind Napier as he goes with Orioro, and he's stopped for no gain.
Derek, you did bring up a very good point there. It's something that I thought about, but it's kind of slipped away on our broadcast here. Is Sholo has been given, they have provided themselves opportunities with the turnovers. I believe Sholo has 2. One of them was the pick, and they have had a fumble loss, but I think they're plus 2 or 3 in the turnover category at this point in the game and have not been able to capitalize other than that first touchdown.
Well, I think it's broken even in large part because
it is. Okay, you're probably right.
Pedraza has been throwing interceptions, but it's
True.
Again, we just kind of overlook those because he's in there as the backup with the clock running at 1 minute and 40 seconds. Napier trying to get the first down as he keeps it.
It looks like they're going to push him over because the L here is signaling a clock stoppage, which means that they're either going to measure or they're going to give him a first down. It looks like they're going to give him a first down, and with that, they're going to give him the first down, and they're going to, as soon as that chain's set, they're going to wind this clock, and there's nothing really Sholo can do at this point with 1.5 minutes left in the game.
Well, I can remind you that you can spend your Friday after Thanksgiving with the iTalk crew as in a 4A slate that had half as many upsets as not. The Lobos are going to be taking on Prescott.
The Badgers from Prescott, and that's going to be a great game to look forward to. We're going to have that for you. Actually, we're going to have video on that one, aren't we, Derek?
Yes.
We're going to have video, and that's going to be live from Snowflake High School, 7 o'clock next Friday night. Myself and someone will be bringing that game to you. I apologize to you at home.
Whoever it is, I hope they know that a congregation of Badgers is a whatever.
You know what? I'm actually going to just look that one up.
Might as well.
I'm just it's that point in the game.
45 seconds. All Thatcher needs to do is take a knee as it leads 21-7. I formation with Napier standing. The Cougars suffering their first loss since week 3 to Snowflake.
You know, Derek, we got to give them a hats off to the season. The way this ended tonight with Brewer being down isn't the way you want to see. it's going to be, looks like Thatcher's going to take a delay a game as the umpire comes in, and no, he's calling a false start on Thatcher. That is not a delay a game. I thought it was interesting that the umpire would throw the delay a game. But
I mean, in a lot of years when you'd see something like this, you might suggest that this is unfortunate that they're playing each other in the semifinals, because these two teams could very well have, in almost every other season in the 3A conference, made themselves look to be the number 1 and number 2 team. Of course, you got Eastmark, which is LARPing as a 3A school, despite being in heavily congested Mesa, Arizona.
Well, let's look at this. Let's look at the fact that the Thatcher Eagles are going to move up to 3A, and they're moving on to a championship. They had the three-peat a few years ago. But to our group and our people listening, we got to congratulate the Cougars on a great season. Yeah. This is not the way you want to see it in. It is absolutely not. But the Cougars have had a great season. They were Northeast Region champs. They hung with the Snowflake Lobos team that's ranked 2 in the state. They came in as the 4 seed. They went through Blue Ridge in the first round. They beat Paradise Honors in the second round. They earned their chance to play these Thatcher Eagles, came up a bit short. But overall, we have to give Coach Hernandez and the Show Low Cougars credit on a great football season. And guess what? They have a lot of juniors that are going to take this team and ride it into next year.
We'll start the post-game conversation after this. 21-7, Thatcher leads and wins, and will now face Eastmark for the 3A championship next week. It's Show the fourth presentation of high school football, and iTalk1067.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. Always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
The one on Napier down here that put him.
I chose Northland Pioneer College because it's close to where I live. My instructor taught me how to build a foundation and framing and use different tools that I haven't used. There's always going to be work everywhere. I want to get educated and start from the bottom and learn how to find myself and what I can do. MPC's transforming my life.
21-7 will now advance to take on Eastmark next week for the 3A championship. As the biggest story here is just the bigness that is the Thatcher Eagles. But outside of that, secondarily, was Nash Brewer's injury and the inability for the Cougars to generate offense. But as we had mentioned, that a lot of that was happening even when Brewer was out there. But we'll take a look at some of our superlatives here, beginning with the Coronado Center drive of the game. And when the score was still 14-7, Cougars kind of kicking themselves because they couldn't take advantage of some short fields. Thatcher, though, with I believe they had just under 6 minutes on the clock. And the line of thinking up here was Sholo potentially can get a stop, get a score, get the ball to start the second half, and make this thing a little bit interesting. Instead, that 3-headed rushing monster goes 80 yards and is able to punch it in with Napier's singular completion. The only time he completed a pass was for that 21-7 lead.
And it doesn't matter. You complete the pass when it counted.
So that the Horn Auto Center drive of the half. Setting up a lot of that was the Deemer's glass shattering hit of the game for all your glass needs. Called Deemer's Glass 188 Glass Man. Had a little bit of a conversation about this. I guess we could give it to 2 different hits.
I think 2 different hits, but it was both. Unfortunately, both the young men were down on the turf for a little bit, but I think your glass shattering would be both the hits on the quarterbacks that kind of changed the game. And unfortunately, they got hurt, but they were good, clean hits, and I would call that our Deemer's glass shattering hit of the week.
I just for the record was leaning more toward the hit against Brewer.
Absolutely, and I think you get that one.
Well, and tackler, and sadly we didn't see who had it, but he just put his face mask right in the chest of Brewer and shook him up. I mean, he got shook.
Yeah. You know, Derek, the next one we have is our Beeler Orthodontic straight line play of the game. My personal vote on this one is going to be that first play of Thatcher going for scrimmage, setting the tone, putting 7 on the board, and making that. But I don't know if you have any different thoughts on that.
No, that was Cody Jones going 59 yards. And we knew coming in that the strategy for the Eagles was going to be to use its size, try to dominate up front. Had no idea that they would be able to combine speed out of the backfield that was going to match the size up front, but didn't have a big hold in Jones. He just ran through it and then was gone. And that set the tone and was nearly all the points that were needed.
It was nearly all the points that were needed. It would have been enough to be a tie, and then everything else came down. But congratulations to Thatcher. Congratulations to Sholo on a great season. And we have ourselves a 3A championship matchup coming.
Sadly not going to involve
the ITALK team.
Teams,
yeah, it's
but
not going to.
Snowflake Lobos, they are going to take on the upset-minded Prescott Badgers, and that will happen Friday after Thanksgiving, 7 o'clock, Snowflake, right on these same airwaves. And give us a little tease. Prescott's historically, or recent history anyway, has had some difficulty with teams from the 3A East / 3A Northeast, or whatever it is called now.
Yeah, Prescott comes out of the 4A Grand Canyon. I do not believe I want to say that Prescott finished second to Bradshaw Mountain in that league.
Yeah.
And you had, quite a few teams. It's traditionally not been a strong football league. However, they upset a very good Poston Butte team on the road down here in the Valley.
Which was playing without its starting quarterback. Now, what you have is the Snowflake Lobos playing at home in their environment. However, if you're Snowflake, you wanted that revenge on AJ, and you wanted AJ to come up to the cold. Face it. Now you got Prescott coming from one colder part of the state to another colder part of the state. So that negates that right there. So I look for a lot of running. I look for a lot of smash mouth football. I look for a great football game. I think it's going to be one that's going to be very close. I think tune in right here. We're going to have live broadcast. We're going to have our replay up and going. We're going to have it right here on ITALK 106.7 and worldwide on ITALK1067.com. And final thought, reminder that in the 4A, 5A, and 6A conferences, semifinals are played at the high C.
They are. Snowflake could potentially have next 2 weeks at home, which could be very big and very cold.
The other side of that one is CDO, which is in the more temperate Tucson climate, and Thunderbird, which is
down here in the Valley.
Yes, so there's going to be a little bit of a home field advantage potentially if they take care of business against Preston.
And I do look for the Lobos. We gotta root for the home team. That's where our sponsors are. That's where our broadcast comes from. I look for the Lobos to come out and do some very good things and come out on top. However, I think it's going to be a tough game, and they can get beat up a little bit going into that semifinal matchup. But looking for the Lobos to come out and do big things in the big 4A conference.
Last call here at Mountain Pointe High School. Thatcher beats Sholo in the semifinals 21-7 as we thank you for spending some of your weekend with us. Thanks to Randall. Thanks to Hewish. Thanks to Ron for coming down, putting it all together. Daniel, Mikey, say word, both of you. And we'll be back with Snowflake and Prescott right after this. And till then, have the very best of evenings.
And happy Thanksgiving.
This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 KNKI Pine Top and iTalk1067.com. Brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Beeler Orthodontics, Octopus Car Wash, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Comfort Fit Dentures, Summit Regional Medical Center, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport, and Horn Auto Center. This broadcast has been a copyrighted production of iTalk 106.7 and Country Mountain Airwaves, a Kopaniki communication station. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of iTalk 106.7 or Country Mountain Airwaves is strictly prohibited. For more information on this game and other games around the region, go to iTalk1067.com.